And so we'll talk about that. Oklahoma, he's got multiple Sooners on the roster with him as well. So our Mason Thomas. Plus, at the podium today, someone we have not heard from in a very long time, Rashee Rice, is actually at the podium today after practice. So we'll hear from Rashee. I'll be very curious to see what he's willing to say. My guess is there will not be much about his offseason that he's willing to talk about, but I'm sure he'll be asked just how big of a year this is and what they're expecting. Meanwhile, we have a video stream, as you guys know, up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. And Cody just turned the video stream
to get in on the chats. I like to talk to the people on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter.
And I'm looking at, I'm pretty sure this is a live stream right now, and you guys know when we're on remote, Drew puts up our figurines because we still want to have the stream up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and Cody's figurine, he's got two of them, but today it's him in this suit with the thinking pose.
Yeah.
There's something missing from my figurine today. It seems kind of important.
Decapitated.
My head is not on the figurine anymore. It's now being held in my own hands. What happened, Drew? What happened to the head of my figurine?
Why did you kill poor Alex?
It's a magic act, today. That's what it is.
The fact that it's still sitting there makes it even funnier than just missing. What? I got to screenshot this.
He's a floating head.
What?
You're Ronald Goldman now.
What?
Like a Beetlejuice movie or something.
Wow.
I don't know what to say.
Did you just throw? Did we irritate you about talking Cincy yesterday, or what happened? You've been wanting to do this for a while, haven't you?
Well, no. I went to reach for the box that you guys, the pedestal that you guys are on.
Sure.
And,
wow. Yeah, nice cover.
I went I went to reach for the box to clean things up, to get Carrington all situated and ready. And in doing so, I knocked the box a little bit, and it wasn't one of those no situations. I knocked it, and you fell backwards, and I was like, oh, no, this is not good. And then popped.
Those things can't just.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then the head just popped off?
Yep, head popped off.
Oh, man.
I did have Cody. I did have some neck pain earlier today.
It's like a voodoo doll.
So it's connected. I mean, you used to have the doll or whatever in your house for 3 years, which was really creepy. At least I know it's been at the studio, but wow.
Well, it didn't break under my care.
That's true. I'll give you credit on that.
It stayed in some crinkled up paper, safe and secure.
I immediately thought, well, this is going to be perfect. I got to find a way to have you hold your own head, and Dusty found a way to make that happen. So shout out to Dusty for setting it up this way.
Are you going to try to fix it?
I'm going to get some Gorilla
Glue. Or do we have
glue.
to get something new for Alex?
I'm gonna get some Gorilla Glue, and we'll see how it looks after putting the head back on, I guess. But
that's tough.
Yeah.
If it doesn't glue right, that's a future Cody Gold garage sale item,
It will be. It will be.
Decapitated Alex. It'll be available for purchase at the Cody Gold garage sale.
I mean, yesterday Cody was talking to us about his friend that was a murderer and got out of prison, messaging him, and then now this is happening. I don't know. These are bad vibes, bad signs on the show. I don't know.
Did you accept the friend request?
I didn't. I was too afraid.
No, I thought you said you already did.
I unfriended it.
Oh,
immediately
wait.
and then decided.
Oh, that makes it. Now he knows for sure.
Did he? Does it show people when they get unfriended?
No, but it's worse. He knows you accepted, and then he goes to look, and you're not a friend. He knows that you accepted and then removed.
I didn't know what the protocol was.
You need to go back and friend him back again.
I think so.
I think you need to.
That's crazy. And then somebody else was texting about something in high school, and then I had forgotten about, another unfortunate, self-defense killing that took place. And those are kids I grew up with, too. Drew, there are a lot of photos of me, I'm afraid, with people who have committed either self-defense killings or murder. It can't be good, right? It can't be good that there's that many people I've associated with in my life.
I plead the fifth. I have no comment.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what happened. Someone just said, over on Twitch, Reed said, Drew, draw a stick figure and put it in Gold's place while he heals from the glue surgery. I want to see your best drawing of, we know you like to draw. Draw Alex tonight and see what the best drawing you can make of him to go up on the stream tomorrow is as we're still up here at training camp. By the way, a couple of camp observations right away. We saw the Chiefs have signed Emmanuel Ogbah to a one-year deal. I want to talk about that separately in just a minute. All the same injuries. No Trey Smith. Mansour Delane is still in the yellow non-contact jersey. Cyrus Allen and Xavier Worthy are out here. I think other than the depth chart, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and Ogbah, which we'll talk about here in a minute, I got to say, they went to 11 on 11. They ran 5 plays in a blitz package 11 on 11. And in the blitz defeat package for that, the first two of the three passes went to Cyrus Allen. And went Cyrus Allen, throwaway incomplete because of the blitz, Cyrus Allen. And it doesn't feel like that. Seems like it's been pretty common. He also beat Noah Williams on a one-on-one in a sideline throw in an earlier portion of it as well. And so it feels like they're right back to using him the same amount they were before the injury. So it's worth pointing out, at least, as we know our guy Nate Taylor's been very high on him so far at camp.
Yeah, he was impressive before the pads were on. Then I asked Nate yesterday, I was like, hey, what's he doing? Nate kind of said that they were almost having other guys get an opportunity ahead of Cyrus Allen intentionally. Not the case today. As you said, right away, we saw Cyrus Allen get involved out here at training camp. It's season ticket holder day, so decent crowd out here. Fans were let in a little bit earlier. My guess is they must have a pretty good group of people signing autographs after practice today as well. Don't forget, training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether you're fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you.
Last comment on your figure, by the way. Okay. Alex is decapitated. Someone said that's exactly how Alex would have looked had he met up with that Dominican chick.
That's a good callback. That's a good callback. It might have been. I mean,
very good.
That's
very
true.
Good,
I mean, it would be one thing if the hand or the arm would have fallen off. The head is. I mean, that's. I mean, people on the chat on Twitch are asking, what did Cody do? It's not even Cody's fault this time.
No, I've been here.
Drew was handling the figurines and damaged it. And then Dusty, the fact that Dusty has the head of the figurine just held up next to my.
Very well done from Dusty.
My figurine's thinking about what to do about it next.
How
do we handle this?
Headless horseman
tough.
over here. Yeah.
Anyway, let's start with the Agba part of it, and then we'll get to the depth chart. I think what the Agba thing says, other than depth, right? Like, we understand the Chiefs lost one or two of their, bottom-end depth defensive ends due to some injury. Ashton Gelati's been fighting some injury during camp. And you and I both know they don't have, a bunch of world beaters across the line. The truth is, though, is that I think that this is something we have talked about in other areas. This is Brett Veach's no-nonsense way of making sure they didn't ignore defensive line. I doubt, and I hope, that Agba doesn't play 600 snaps on defense this year, because that would be a pretty bad sign for anybody. Omar Norman-Lott, Ashton Gelati, R. Mason Thomas, who will join us later in the show, Peter Woods. I don't care anybody on the defensive line, let alone the ends. But it makes you wonder, does it say anything about Felix? It makes you wonder if it says anything about the depth guys, because Agba only had a half a sack last year. He had nearly 30 the 4 seasons before that. That's more productive than anybody they've had on defensive end for some stretch. The question is, does he have one more, year of juice left, or did that lead last year and we're just, throwing darts at this point?
So, one, it's a depth signing, but I still think it might tell us how they feel about Felix Anudike-Uzomah, because you start to look at the depth chart and you say, all right, who's going to get the random 20% of snaps, 25% of snaps on this defense? Is that a guy like Felix? How's that rotation going to look with R. Mason Thomas, who's going to join us after the show? Ashton Gelati, when he's healthy, I would think we'll get a bulk of those along with R. Mason Thomas. But Omar Norman-Lott is still on the PUP list. Here we are in almost the middle of the month. Not quite, almost the middle of the month, and he's still on the PUP list. Are we going to see him off the PUP list before we leave camp? I'm not so sure if that's the case or not. Will he be ready to start week 1, or will they keep Omar Norman-Lott on the PUP list into the season? Those are real possibilities.
Feels like PUP list now.
It's a depth signing, but also I think they wanted a veteran that's been there, done that. Is it a little annoying that they continue to go back to the well and just continue to bring in guys that were relevant in 2020, and help them win a Super Bowl 6 years ago? I mean, it's been a bit. So that part is just, man, they just love bringing back players in the reunion. That's just been their MO, and it's obviously worked in a lot of cases for them. I'm not saying it can't. But, no, Cody, I don't think this is just depth, that he's just going to be a body around.
You think he's going to play?
I think he's playing. Yeah, I think Emmanuel Agba is going to play. And if anybody that it could impact playing time, it's Felix.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, look, it probably does say Omar Norman-Lott is headed to the PUP, in my opinion. He hasn't practiced all the camp. You can slow walk the injury. There's no rush on a guy like that. You're protecting your second-round pick. He probably goes in the PUP and you don't see him until week 6. Okay, fine. I can accept that. And Agba certainly makes that decision easier because you have more depth on the defensive line. The person it's the most damning about is Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who for the most part, I have said, has had an okay camp. I think can be a contributor to this year's team. And like losing out, if you're Felix and you lose out to a 33-year-old or 32-year-old defensive end who was last with the Chiefs 6.5 years ago, well then, yeah, you're probably not doing much. And again, Ugba could have something left in the tank. He played 13 games last year and only had a half a sack. He had 5.5. He was already slowing down is the problem. When I say 30 sacks over 4 years, I ain't telling the story before the half sack. It was half sack, 5.5, 5, 9, 9.5. So, like, he's gotten fundamentally worse every single season.
He turns 33 in November. I mean, but in this role, if he's going to be someone that's getting 25, 30% of the snaps, and we'll ask Nate Taylor to see if he agrees or thinks there's a different plan for Emmanuel Ogbah, then that's a guy that I think could give you 2 or 3 sacks here during the season, and that they trust that knows Spags' system. So we'll see. I mean, there's also a scenario, Cody, where they get him to camp and he just doesn't look like he's got it anymore, and he gets cut. I mean, this is a nothing deal.
They gave him a 1-year deal.
This is
I'm
a
sure
nothing
it's all incentive. Have we seen even numbers on it yet?
No, but it's got to be a nothing deal. There's no way it's anything of note.
Is there any big concern about Omar Norman-Lott? Or should we be more concerned because Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL and LCL 8 weeks after Omar Norman-Lott did, and Omar Norman-Lott only tore his ACL. And
I know,
Pat's
but it's
already
defensive
back.
lineman.
I know, I understand that, but
different position, yeah.
I understand that, but the fact that Pat is already back and doing what he's doing, and it's not like he's not mobile. It's not like he's not running under center where it feels like, it's 2 months post. I know that everybody's body's different, obviously, but we're getting, close to the 10-month, if not already there, 10-month mark of the ACL thing, where if he's on the PUP list, it'll be a full year.
Yeah, look, they drafted him a year ago, and then they turned around this year and they spent his first and a second-round pick on defensive linemen. That in its own right might have been a sign of things. But I think what's frustrating about Omar Norman-Lott is I'm wondering, are we going to have to wait 6 weeks into the season till he's able to play, or does he get off the PUP list earlier? But in terms of the recovery, I don't think it's fair to compare the two recoveries, as you acknowledged. Different position. You're asking.
Told us.
Aaron Borgman, former NFL trainer, was on with us 2 weeks ago talking about just everybody's a little bit different positionally. It's different. For a defensive end who's reliant on that, your knees getting twisted way more than it is as a quarterback in terms of every play, and you're bending it in different directions, and you're needing it to push off. It's way different than a quarterback, as he described to us. So I don't think the timeline is like, oh man, why is it taking so long for Norman-Lott? I'm now just wondering, is it not going to be week 1? Is it going to be where they just say, you know what, we brought in Ogbah as well, we have this, we drafted guys, we're going to just let Omar Norman-Lott have the first month off of the season?
That's what it sounds like to me. And I guess I wouldn't, just as long as he comes back at some point this season, I guess I won't be worried that it's a critical injury that they can't overcome.
He tore it October 19th. So if we're talking PUP list, it'll have been about 11 months.
Yeah,
post.
I think that's not crazy.
Injury,
like, again,
which is within that 9 to 12 month window.
Yeah, it's on the later end of it.
Yeah,
but I think part of that is like the leverage you need as a defensive lineman to push off of that leg. It is a completely different recovery, or at least strength level needed in order to get there.
As far as Ogbah, just looking at some more numbers on him. If again Ogbah signing with the Chiefs today on a 1-year deal, the former Chief now back with the Chiefs. Last year, these are actually the past 2 seasons, he was one of the worst pass rush win rate guys in football over the past 2 seasons. Yeah. Worst pass rush win rate percentage in all of football over the past 2 years. There was maybe, a handful of guys that right around him.
They were all Chiefs last year?
No, this is over the last 2 years. Judon was also struggled. Bud Dupree of the Chargers, Epinesa of the Bills.
God, these are all names the Chiefs wanted.
Those were guys that had about the same pass rush win rate in football as him.
Old ass.
Or just
pass
not
rushers.
Healthy guys.
Yeah, some combination of the two. By the way, Chris Jones continues to rate near the top in all defensive linemen and certainly in defensive tackles. So they got some guys who can get to the quarterback. This, to me, is needed depth. They don't want to be caught with their pants down again on the defensive line end, where for multiple years in a row, one little guy doesn't perform, like Charles Omenihu doesn't perform, and it's tanked. They got no choices. They got no other guy who can maybe accidentally get to the quarterback. Last year, they were rolling out guys who had no chance. Like you and I both knew in a pass rush snap, they aren't winning this one, ever, under any circumstance. They're not even going to, unless Chris Jones forcibly handles their man as well, it was never going to happen. So we don't have to worry about it. Let's talk a little bit about the depth chart, though, as we are up here at training camp. R. Mason Thomas will join us after camp as well. The unofficial depth chart, as a reminder, is done by members of the Chiefs PR staff. So it is not the coaches who send this out. Now they make what I would call somewhat educated decisions. Although, can we admit right away that they clearly leaned heavy in the veteran department in this? As in, Jalen Royals was ahead of...
Not surprised by that. If it's done by
Cyrus Allen,
if it's done by the PR department, they're not going to be the ones that are suddenly going to vault Benson to the starting right tackle.
Well, Jerry Sneed is a starting corner in this one too.
Jerry Sneed is a starting corner.
Yeah, they went with the safe. They went with the safe picks. You know, I think understanding that it's unofficial, and as you said, this is not something that is necessarily sitting down and Andy Reid kicks out the depth chart for them. It's done with prior knowledge, but also not upsetting the apple cart, if you will, in terms of suddenly if they put the PR staff's not going to be the ones, Cody, to put Benson as a starting right tackle, to put one of the younger corners suddenly up there. But I'll tell you, the part on the offensive line that's tricky right now is the Trey Smith end, because, of course, Trey Smith's listed as starting right guard. He's a starting right guard, but Jalen Moore starting right tackle. I still think even before the Trey Smith thing, I would have continued to bet that he was a starting tackle on week 1, but this Smith injury is forcing Benson to play guard, and so I think it's actually ending any competition at right tackle heading into week 1.
It's at the very least complicating it, and genuinely I think I mentioned it tonight. I had said something not the exact same as that, but something very similar in the sense that how does this not hurt the competition, and how does it not tell me something about the competition that rather than – it tells me this. I'll say this. It says that they like Khalil Benson, and they like him better than their other backup guards, and they think Khalil Benson is so talented that they got to get him on the field somewhere, in the sense that if Trey Smith is not available, having Khalil Benson's better on the field than having Jalen Moore, and they don't have another tackle option, and so make the young kid play guard instead of the other. But it also tells me that Jalen Moore's ahead. I think it does, considerably ahead in the competition, at least at the moment.
And then, as Drew mentioned with Sneed, something we know will get taken care of as soon as whenever Delane is healthy. But, they list Delane as the number 2 corner behind Noel Williams. You know what I mean? So we know that's obviously not that's not accurate, but that's what this unofficial depth chart is saying.
The other part is, I guess, the way I look at the depth chart one, he's ahead of Fulton. Yeah, okay. I've already told you a million times I don't think they like Fulton. So that doesn't shock me in any regular okay. Oh, no, that can't be it. I will say I have decided to take a fresh look, not just because of this depth chart, just thinking in general. A fresh thought on contribution from Jaden Hicks. Rookie year Jaden Hicks, I was ready for him to be the starting safety a couple of years from now. Look at him, he was going to turn into a star. He appears to be a slow mover in the Spagnuolo trust circle because he played his rookie year, and we're like, oh, he should play more. And he didn't play more his second year. And now he's, at least in his first depth chart, behind Connor and Alohi Gilman. Now, I expected him to be behind Alohi Gilman. But he's not, right now, he's not looking to be a starter on either end. And so, that to me, and you can use 3 safeties, but that to me at least says that, he's taking his time. And there's a little bit of space there in the sense that I don't want to look at it the same way and just assume that Jaden Hicks is going to be the contributor. I guess I thought he was going to be his rookie season, Gold.
Yeah, that first preseason game and that first training camp for Hicks, he was all over watching on TV, he was everywhere. He was so noticeable. It's been interesting just to see where things are trending for him. He's one of the veterans in the room. But yeah, his stock, I guess, is probably a little down compared to what it was 2 years ago. The other thing, though, we have to keep in mind, I know we're always worried that under Spags in this regime that they're reluctant to play younger players early in the season, right?
Have been pretty consistently.
The comments from Spags a week ago about even Peter Woods trying to pump the brakes on him. I am not as worried about this year, Cody, because I think they don't have a choice in a lot of these positions but to play the young guys. So that's where I don't freak out when I see this unofficial depth chart and I see Sneed above multiple young players. When I see on the defensive line, maybe there's some vets above some of the younger players. That to me would be more concerning in a year where they have a choice. This year, they're going to have to play these young guys right away. And Sneed, what's funny about him being listed where he's on the depth chart, Cody, he's still not getting full practice yet. He's still not practicing fully.
No.
So they went ahead and put, even though Mansour Delane is the 6th overall pick. We all know when he's healthy, he's going to be the starting corner. On the depth chart, they still put Sneed, who's not been healthy enough to practice. They still put him as a starter. So.
I think they went, this is their safe bet is all vets.
Yeah.
We're just putting anybody who has any time over anybody else immediately. And then that way, who have we made mad? We just said veterans have an advantage in the Chiefs system, which is not historically inaccurate. So there's a lot of truth to it, I guess, in the way that they've handled things traditionally. But it also is just like, it's not totally accurate either. And so it's something that we have to continue to keep an eye out on, at least on that end.
I'll say, though, when you look at the depth chart or you look at the Ogba signing today, if I would have told you back in early May, hey, the Chiefs are going to bring in a veteran defensive end, would any of us, in fact, we had the conversation, so I know the answer is no. Would any of us have said, oh, yeah, you know what? They should bring back Emmanuel Ogba, Cody? No, we were naming Cam Jordan till he signed with the Saints. We were naming Jadeveon Clowney till he signed, or actually, Clowney's still a free agent.
Players last year.
Right. So the Ogba signing, it's probably just, it's a cheap signing. They're familiar with him, but it is a little frustrating that that's the path they went.
Look, this goes back to, we can be more critical at the end of the year for some reason the season goes south. Okay, so I'll say that. At the end of the year, I think we can point this out as a flaw that is hurting them, not just something Brett Veach does. Because in the end, and it has worked for them, and you had pointed that out, and it's 100% true, which is why your criticism has to be at least with that scope in mind, or at least considering that scope. Brett Veach has a sickness, and it is bringing back players who have been in this building before.
A sickness, jeez.
Like, he can't help himself.
Okay.
He loves.
Are we sure that it's him
why
or is it
Tyreek
Andy?
Hill? It's why Tyreek Hill
exactly
is like
true.
is like a 60% chance of coming back. Now, look, in fairness, I'd love to complain, but like he's hitting at like 90% if I just consider getting to an AFC Championship game or getting to a Super Bowl as being. It's not like you made all the wrong decisions. Last year was the first time it blew up in their face. They brought back Aminihu, he stunk. They brought back Dana, he stunk. And so they brought back
Derek Nottie.
They brought back Derek Nottie. He was even
They
worse
gave up a draft
than the previous two guys that I was talking about before. They brought back Juju Smith-Schuster, which is fine, but
fine,
it didn't move the needle by any stretch of the imagination. They brought back Hollywood Brown, worthless. And so, like, last year was the first time it actually fell in their face. Every other time it's worked. So, I don't know if I can really complain.
And someone on the text line points out, too, Clowney ended up signing with the Texans, but in May he was available.
Yeah,
so those were names that we would have actually been far more interested in. And I think the Texans deal, what did he end up signing for?
It was
$5 or $6 million?
I don't think it was very much.
I'm sure it was less than Agba, though. Or more than Agba, though.
Oh, well, that I don't doubt. 1 year, $5.5 million. I mean,
I bet Agba's about half of that.
$4.5 million guaranteed.
I know. It seems like the kind of player. Look, I would have been more interested in a Cam Jordan, a Jadeveon Clowney, many of these other veteran guys who are the same age as the guy we're talking about. But I think if you're making the signing in August, he was always going to.
Are we sure that it's Brett Veach, though, Cody, or is this Andy saying, "I want my guy back"?
Oh, I think it's.
No, I think it's Veach.
I think it's Veach and Spags.
I think a lot of it is the coaching staff. I think the coaching staff is more, hey, I want this guy back because we're comfortable with him, or we're not going to know until Andy's gone. But I think you'd be crazy. Yeah. I don't think Brett Veach would. I don't think Brett Veach, if he had the option, would take Emmanuel Ogba over Jadeveon Clowney or Cam Jordan. Unless Spags was like, hey,
he's earned enough say at this point, hasn't he, to just choose the guy he wants? Maybe it's collaborative. True.
I think it's definitely collaborative.
I'll definitely give you that. I mean, I could
because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. For the reasons that we're talking about, why would he bring Emmanuel Ogba in compared to Jadeveon Clowney when it's an extra $2 million? There's no way.
Well, it might be more than that, but the point remains the same. I think it probably is a bigger gap than that financially, but yes, I mean, there is clearly coaching and front office some comfort in bringing back guys that they have a relationship with. This has happened 10 times over the last 5 years.
Yep.
At least.
I mean, but this is why, like, when somebody says, you think the Chiefs will bring back Brett Veach? I don't look, or do you think, or Tyreek Hill? Yeah. Like, my answer is never. No chance. They'd never. If they have formally played for the Chiefs, there's at least a chance he comes back and plays for the Chiefs.
If Jadeveon Clowney had played for the Chiefs 4 years ago, he might have been back. Yes. I mean, it's there were rumblings years back that they were going to sign him when he was, I think, right before he signed with Cleveland, or maybe when he was cut by Cleveland, whenever that was. This was probably 5 years ago, but there were rumblings at that point in time, and they just never came together.
Like, I wouldn't even, they traded him away and he signed an extension. And if you told me, hey, is there a percentage chance that Trent McDuffie ever plays for the Chiefs again? Yeah, there's a percentage chance. Maybe it's low because he was disappointed in how he got traded out of here, but it's never zero.
Our training camp coverage continues here in St. Joe thanks to our friends over at Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer enjoy responsibly. Coming up next here on Cody and Gold, let's talk about legacy with some quarterbacks in the NFL and whose could change the most, plus what coach could be out first this year in the league. That's coming up live from St. Joe.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Alex and I have been telling you about Centric for years. That's because of days like this. We're sitting out here and the heat index is going to be 105. We think about people like you and the thousands of graduates who've taken their skills at Centric and launched careers, maybe one that aren't outside for that matter, in today's fastest growing industries, AI, cybersecurity, and so many others. It's across the board, Alex.
Yeah, now it's your turn to decide. Do you like what you're doing right now? Are you sick of it? Is it now when you want to make that change for you, for your family, you name it? Centric can help in as little as 4 months. You could be learning the skills that employers are hiring for instead of wondering what's next, that uncertainty. Your future won't change, of course, until you do. And you can talk to our friend Russ Mondrick.
Go to Centric.com, CENTRIQ.com, and find out more how you can start that career today.
Man, that was the insurance company again.
What'd they say?
They want another statement, more paperwork. They're telling me what my car's worth. Now they want all my medical records.
Dude, why are you dealing with all that?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
One call and they deal with the insurance company for you. The calls, the paperwork, the negotiations. You just focus on getting better.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus, a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at the season's end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. For instance, maybe you've already got your idea set on the AFC West. Right now, the Chiefs are trading at 34%, meaning a $100 trade on Kalshi would net you a $281 return. You can do that and futures and so many other options over on Kalshi. That's because on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. southkc.bordermagic.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Sorry.
You all
I
right?
didn't realize we were coming back. I was just laughing because it was a terrible rap. Mahomes steps back. They're playing 7-on-7. He steps back, and no one's open because it's not the good wide receivers. And so he's, like, messing around. He's rolling around. Like, the play would probably be dead, but then he finally rips one. Great pass right into Jalen Royals. Dropped immediately. And you're just like, come on, man.
Well,
hold on to the football.
Not surprised. He's been brutal.
Hold on to the football. And it's not because they're not trying. They've given him reps in this training camp, and I'm convinced, Gold, it's the way you were talking about with, and we've been talking about with Khalil Benson, and kind of similar in the sense that what I think is happening is that they are trying to find a reason to keep Jalen Royals. They're giving him reps because they're like, give us a reason why you are a player who is deserving this. Guy can't get open.
Yeah, he's going to play a ton in the preseason because.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, we're up here in St. Joe. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you at Mo West. Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. After practice today, which should be sometime in the 11 o'clock hour, maybe closer to 11:20, 11:30 or so, we're going to hear from Rashee Rice. He'll speak to the media for the first time this entire offseason. We will also have R. Mason Thomas, rookie second-round draft pick, joining us one-on-one here from our tent. Let's talk quarterbacks a bit more. We've been kind of on that theme in the last few days.
It's because they keep talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, also, look, quarterback, it's the NFL is all about quarterbacks.
Yes, sir.
And it's all about legacy, and it's always an interesting debate, whether we're talking rings, whether we're just talking about playoff appearances and overall stats. Yesterday we were talking about playoff touchdown rate versus non-playoff teams. So when you look at a grouping of quarterbacks, and I think you can narrow it down to the list that you added in, but maybe there's a few more, who can change their legacy the most with a Super Bowl win? Not just an appearance, but a Super Bowl win this year. Because, okay, let's start with Mahomes. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, yes, adding another ring would do wonders for him. But overall, adding like 3 more is what actually changes it at this point for him, if that makes sense.
If he gets 3 or
right?
4,
he's
people
already,
are like, he's still great.
He's already reached the level where, like, whether or not he wins another one, he's already a level. Now, I would argue for those that are doing these lists, like Bill Barnwell and others, if he wins the Super Bowl again, then they can't
shut up.
They can't even try to do this another offseason where people are questioning Mahomes. So I don't know if he's the guy that would have the biggest shift. I think it's pretty obvious though. It's the grouping of that we always talk about that doesn't have the ring, right?
Lamar, Burrow?
Yeah, it's Allen, Burrow, and Lamar as far as who could change their legacy the most. And I would argue it's actually Joe Burrow. because Josh Allen, while he has been in the postseason constantly, he hasn't been able to give her the hump. Yes, it would change his legacy, but Joe Burrow has missed the playoffs for 3 straight years. He's in danger of just being a guy that's known to never stay healthy. Can't do that. Like, that's where he's trending. If he suddenly is healthy and he gets to a Super Bowl and wins one, not only would Drew go nuts and be very, very happy, Joe Burrow would vault into the conversation of being the second best quarterback in the league.
I think, and that's why he would take a big leap. But he would go from, let's say, in most people's eyes, 3rd through 5th best quarterback in the NFL to 2nd best quarterback in the NFL who were able to get a Super Bowl ring. Josh Allen would go from 2nd, but some idiots would say 1st.
Oh, let's be real. We won't
Josh
like
Allen,
it
a lot
here.
of people would immediately say he's the best quarterback.
If Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl this year and the Chiefs either miss the playoffs or don't go far in the playoffs, et cetera, or whatever, absolutely, it'll be outside of Kansas City. Everybody will be saying he's the best quarterback.
But he's already 2nd in most people's eyes, 3rd at worst, or whatever ranking you want to put on it. I think the person who stands to gain the most in the pecking order is Justin Herbert. If Justin Herbert,
that'd be a hell of a leap from no playoff wins.
If Justin Herbert went from playoff choke artist, who wins some regular season games and put up some nice stats, to Super Bowl champion, well, then he will immediately, and I think everyone's eyes, be in the conversation with the 2A category. The Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think people would immediately vault him up into the list with everyone else because they already like the stats and the way that he looks as quarterback.
Yeah.
If he breaks through for some reason, I think his legacy changes the most immediately.
It no doubt would. My only pushback on Herbert is, wouldn't that apply to a majority of the league?
Trevor Lawrence,
right?
Justin Herbert, Bo Nix.
I could say the same thing about Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert,
second.
Jaden Daniels, but specifically the guys that haven't won one. Like I think the Herbert leap, yes, if he gets a ring, it just changes everything about him, no question. But I would say that would be like me throwing out Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams or any of the quarterbacks that we think are top half of the league but have never won.
You think they're kind of in a group
versus the over, like nobody's ever going to make, I don't care, Herbert can win a Super Bowl this year. Nobody's going to think one day he's a top 3 quarterback in football like history or something. Whereas a guy like Josh Allen or Burrow or Lamar, if they started winning a couple, they would suddenly be in the conversation of one of the greatest of all time. I don't think Justin Herbert is ever going to be in that conversation even if he wins a ring.
I think he's one of the few, I think there's like a handful of guys who could try to vault themselves into that conversation. And I really think it's probably the 3 you mentioned. Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence. Bo Nix wins one, they'll treat it like Sam Darnold's. Oh, good for you. Like a sad, like child. They won't jump him up some massive list. They'll say he's good, they'll say the team is good, but they won't start treating him like the way, and by the way, Mike McDaniel would get whatever job he wanted.
Absolutely.
If for some reason that happened. That's just a byproduct of the conversation we're having. But, I do think that there are 3 guys because Trevor Lawrence, number 1, 1-1. Caleb Williams, 1-1. And then Justin Herbert, who was the immediate golden child when he came into the league. Those are the guys that I think can vault themselves into. And, seriously make the argument. Like, if you got through it, Justin Herbert's got as many passing yards as some of these other guys. And now he's got a ring. So what's everyone else have to show for it? Burrow's got 1 Super Bowl appearance, no MVPs. Lamar Jackson's got 2 MVPs, no Super Bowl appearances. And Josh Allen's got 1 MVP, no Super Bowl appearances. And so if Herbert, who has the stats to compete with some of these guys, in addition to it had a Super Bowl, it would be kind of hard to, I'd have a hard time parsing the argument.
Yeah, a lot of people on the text line are mentioning Dak Prescott, who I think is still very undervalued anyway. He's always a little higher on my quarterback list than other people have. One, because he would be doing it in Dallas. Yeah, it would. Again, it would change how people talk about him and his overall legacy because you win a Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys, you're kind of goated in Dallas forever, right? Again, he's not a quarterback that's ever going to be discussed, though, in the potential discussion of one of the top 10 quarterbacks in NFL history. Whereas, again, I'll separate the tiers. I think there's a chance that if all of a sudden you told me Lamar or Allen or Burrow started winning rings, they would be in the conversation at some point of being top 10 quarterbacks in NFL history. I don't think Dak can ever get there, even if he won 2 rings. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference for me. But there's no doubt. Any quarterback that wins a ring, it changes how we talk about you. Hell, Sam Darnold somehow finds a second one. We have to talk about him differently.
Or Hurts finds a second one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely different conversation. And Hurts has been to 2 already.
He's been to 2. He just looks so mediocre.
I saw Kevin Clark defending him to be like, we talk about Super Bowls meaning everything, and then we just don't give it to Hurts. And I'm like, it's
because we have eyes, and the eye test sucks for Jalen Hurts.
It's like Super Bowls do mean a lot, but I also can see. I can see that Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson are also incredibly talented. So if they got a ring, it is worth more. I will say any of those – here's the sucky part for Lamar. I think if all three of those guys – let's say here's how I think it would happen if all three of them won a Super Bowl this year, an individual, right? Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow wins a Super Bowl. People immediately start making the argument he's the best quarterback in the – he's the best quarterback in the league. He's past Patrick Mahomes, whatever.
People are waiting to be able to do that.
And he's the second best quarterback, at least in totality during this run. Josh Allen wins it. Even more people start saying he's the best quarterback in the NFL and maybe the second best quarterback of this year or whatever, all the other stuff that comes with it. Lamar Jackson wins it. I don't think they treat it that way. It's wrong, but I guarantee you they'd just be like, oh, Lamar finally put a team together. They wouldn't talk about him like
I
he's
agree.
jumped Mahomes.
Yes.
It's crazy to me, but immediately
That's exactly how it would go. It's exactly how it would go. I think absolutely how it would go. And it's amazing how look. This is just, I guess, life in general. Narratives are set, and they're so hard to
break.
They're so hard to break, and it's really difficult, especially in this era of the NFL, where you do have a ridiculous amount of talent right now at quarterback, right? Mahomes and Burrow and Allen, Lamar specifically. Just a crazy time for quarterbacks. Also, we don't know how this group of quarterbacks are going to age. What I mean by that is they're all kind of dual-thready. We don't know how 38-year-old dual-threat quarterbacks are going to look in the NFL. We know what a 38-year-old, 40-year-old Steve Young or Tom Brady looked like. We don't know how Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and Lamar are going to age given how they play the game compared to the guys in the 90s.
And if one wrong hit changes it. Drew, it sounds like you agreed with us, by the way, on Lamar.
Yeah, I think the narrative would unfortunately be what it is. The way that I looked at it was like the Hall of Fame side of it, where Josh Allen is a Hall of Famer, Lamar is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Those guys are going.
If Burrow would be on my list because if he wins one, I think he is a Hall of Famer. If Matt Stafford wins one, a bunch of people are mentioning Matt Stafford. I think if Matt Stafford wins the second one, he's considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
He's already a Hall of Famer.
Because he's already a Hall of Famer, but I think it jumps him into the few that only have two, and also I think because of his stats, he catapults over Roger Staubach and Plunkett, and I mean I think he elevates himself into a Peyton Manning lore of Matt Stafford being like one of the best quarterbacks to ever walk the face of the planet. I would say Jalen Hurts too, just because I think not necessarily Hall of Fame status, but if you have two, it's hard to deny it. But
you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he is a Hall of Famer too. If you win two, I think he's in. So that's the way that I looked at it more so with this conversation. Where obviously it'd be massive for Lamar if he won one, but from a Hall of Fame perspective, I think Lamar's kind of already in, and Josh Allen the same.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any. I think if you're a two-time MVP, I'd have to look it up.
Not many two-time MVPs are not in the Hall of Fame.
Probably zero, right? I mean, without
Lamar's got to be in. No, I think Lamar's got to be in. Even though he's never made one, I think Lamar's in. I think Josh Allen's going to be in.
A quick Google search, so you can fact check me, but a quick Google search would say no retired two-time NFL MVP quarterbacks have ever been left out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And no two-time Super Bowl champions for Jalen Hurts' argument. Bob Greasy, Jim Plunkett, Eli Manning is not in yet. Ben Roethlisberger's not in yet. But we both agree those guys will get in?
Yeah, I mean, every
Big
retired
for sure.
multi-MVP quarterback, such whether Unitas, Montana, Favre, Young, Warner, Manning, Peyton Manning, that is, are all in the Hall of Fame. And they're multi-MVP award winners.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting to follow.
Now, if you just win one MVP, there's plenty that haven't got in, right? I mean, Ken Anderson, your guy there, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
he's a single MVP. He was a two-time All-Pro. Joe Theismann, of course, won an MVP, won a Super Bowl. Joe Theismann. Is Joe Theismann not in the Hall of Fame?
So.
Boomer Esiason, Rich Gannon, Steve McNair. These are all guys that fit that criteria with one MVP not in the Hall of Fame.
That doesn't surprise me, though. Like, you can put one together. Nobody thinks that you're going to put two together.
Lamar was doing things that we've never seen at the position. I think it's just, I know he's never won one before, but, I mean, Lamar is doing some crazy things.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. It's always an interesting conversation heading into the year what coaches we perceive to be on the hot seat. And sometimes it's spot on. Sometimes there's always a surprise year, and it ends up being a coach fired. Last year, I think it was Bill Callahan, right?
Yeah.
Or Bill or Brian? Brian. I get him confused.
Brian.
Was in Tennessee.
Bill O'Brien.
No, not O'Brien.
No,
no.
Callahan.
Callahan, but I just get the
Brian
Bill
Callahan,
confused. Yeah. Anyway, he was the first head coach fired. And so who's going to be the team that just gets to a terrible start that cost their coach a job. The odds are out there offshore. You're probably not surprised by the first 3 names. I mean, these were coaches we thought might get canned after last year, so naturally, here they are. Aaron Glenn has the best odds to get fired with the Jets.
Can't believe he still has a job.
I think the Jets will be good enough this year where he's not getting fired in the first coach fired. I don't think it's going to be that kind of start for the Jets where he's fired by November or something. But Todd Bowles, plus 5.5. Zach Taylor, we've talked a ton about him. It's playoff or bust, I think, for him.
I think they start slow. He could lose his game.
I don't think they'll fire him in season, though. They would have to be like 1-5, Drew, 1-6, something terrible.
Yeah,
they historically do not do it, and their schedule is pretty light. But I do think that there's like a 2-5 start that could get him canned.
Shane Steichen, plus 750. I think his start to the season last year saves him from being fired in season by the Colts ownership.
That's fair.
Then Brian Schottenheimer, Dan Quinn. He's at 12-1. He's not. It sounds terrible to bet on someone losing their job, but Dan Quinn at 12-1. Great value. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
To get canned.
Unfortunately.
You've seen their offensive linemen? They're talking about starting like Nick Allegretti at left tackle.
Nick Sirianni has the same odds as Dan Quinn to get fired first. Sirianni could be gone at the end of the year. I just don't think he's the first one fired.
Philly loves firing head coaches, even ones who have won a Super Bowl with them. But
Mike Vrabel, 16-1. Kevin O'Connell, 18-1. And then you got guys that are probably no chance of happening. Dan Campbell, LaFleur, Saleh. If you're wondering, Andy Reid is all the way down there at 250-1. No, he's no. This is what's funny. There are 2 coaches that have better odds to get fired than Andy. So Andy has the same odds as Jesse Minter, the first-time head coach there in Baltimore, and Joe Brady in Buffalo, and Clint Kubiak in Vegas. Mike McDonald is 500-1. Okay. Sean McVay, 500-1. Liam Cohen in Jacksonville, 300-1. So those are the 3 coaches they believe have better.
Liam Cohen's got better job security than Andy Reid.
That's what they say. I laughed when I saw that last night. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and put Andy Reid in the 500-1 category as well.
These are the first coach to get fired, or just
first?
Fired?
Yeah, not that they'll be fired at the end of the year. First coach fired. Yes.
I wonder what, and this is going to sound crazy. I wonder what Joe Brady's odds would be to get fired by the end of the season, because if things don't go well for whatever reason, I could see them jumping ship immediately because he was promoted within
1-7 or something.
Though, I'm just saying, if the Bills went 9-8 and they missed the playoffs, I think they could fire Joe Brady. Because
he would be the first one fired.
I don't know at 9-8 unless there was clearly some tension between him and Josh Allen, which seems hard to believe because that's kind of Allen's guy.
I just think if you go from making it every year to missing it with the expectations that they have for him, and given that he was in the same quote-unquote regime as Sean McDermott, I think they would just
it would be a conversation maybe. I don't think at 9. I think if you told me the Bills won 7 games, then absolutely.
For sure.
9 to me, you'd have to give me the script of exactly how the season went down, right? Like, was it clearly coaching malpractice, or did somebody get hurt? Like, you'd have to tell me exactly how the year played out for me to think that 9-8 gets Joe Brady fired. I mean,
I think it'd have to go.
Who do you think is who's a lock to get fired at the end of the year, though?
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn, Todd Bowles.
It feels like those.
Those are the only 2 locks. I think those are the only 2 locks. I might consider Dan Quinn, but I don't think Dan Quinn's a lock. I actually had a guest on from D.C.
He's not a lock, but he's likely, in my opinion.
On my weekend show, we had a beat writer on last Saturday, and I asked him the very question. He thinks Dan Quinn's job security is much higher than people think.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they had that one run of the NFC title game?
Yeah.
People have fired coaches for much less.
I could see Steichen getting fired.
Yeah, okay.
Actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a good year for Daniel Jones.
If they finish last in the division, I mean.
Who's the surprise fire? There's always one. Is it Sirianni? Is it a Dan Campbell? If they just bottom out and are awful.
That would be a big surprise.
Sirianni's probably he probably is the surprise one, right? Because but people like in Philly, like legitimately, Philly has fired the last 2. They fired Andy Reid after he went to like a million NFC title games. Then they fired Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl for them. They don't care. They'll just fire people, So like I don't.
The one that stands out.
I'm trying to think about now. I want to look at the list.
The one that stands out. It's be a first year. Let's say in Cleveland, it's just horrendous. And they have a top pick. Do they just say, we'll go?
Yeah, but it's so rare, man.
It's
for a guy to get fired
It's Cleveland, though.
It's so rare.
If they think they could get a quarterback, do you bring in Mike McDaniel?
Yes, I would fire Todd Monken.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. It's so bad that they have a top pick, and they're like, all right, Todd Monken's not the guy we want with our next young quarterback.
My surprise firing, I have one answer that I think is the only one I would put in the surprise category other than you mentioned him. DeMeco Ryans.
I get the logic. Stroud just is awful. At some point, it's the head coach's fault that you can't find an OC and
Correct.
stuff, even though the defense is amazing.
Correct.
Okay.
Why is he not like at least at the end of the year?
A lot has to happen, but
they don't make the playoffs, can't win the South again. I don't know why that's out of the question.
I mean, I get the path for it to happen. I would be surprised, but yeah, I get the path for it.
I think I don't know how surprising it would be. Maybe Dave Canales in Carolina.
What are his odds on here? Let me see.
Man, he signed like a 7-year deal, remember?
You know what's funny?
He wanted so much job security, Drew. I think they won't fire him maybe for that reason.
You know what's interesting? On this offshore list, the list that we're on, they have Kevin O'Connell on here twice. There's no Dave Canales even listed on here.
My
That's
goodness.
clearly a mistake. I wonder if Dave Canales – they list Kevin O'Connell both back-to-back. I wonder if Canales is also 18-1. They might have just screwed up.
That must be it.
I think they promised Canales years to fix it. If you remember, there was no interest in the job. Canales ended up taking it from like an unusual spot, and he signed a contract longer than most rookie coaches get because they promised him a long run. Doesn't mean Tepper couldn't just pay the freight and tell him to go away. But because of that, I kind of feel like, with him and Steichen, sometimes I give more credit to the coaches who I think do less with quarterbacks I don't respect. Like when Shane Steichen's out here, like even making the Colts look respectable under Daniel Jones, I'm like, you know what? Kudos, sir. It's kind of like the Kevin O'Connell stuff. When you're getting 8 or 9 wins in Minnesota last year with Max Brosmer and all these other guys, and J.J. McCarthy looking like trash, it's like, kudos. I'm more impressed with that than coaches who win with Josh Allen.
Yeah, although it's interesting you bring up the McCarthy thing. Have you seen reports out of Minnesota? Get me a little nervous about my Vikings bullish take.
QB battle's still going.
Yeah, that they're saying that J.J. McCarthy, Kyler Murray hasn't looked much better than McCarthy, they claim, based on some of the reporting out there. I find that hard to believe, but that is what's being said out of
the text line with a Matt LaFleur poll. That would be interesting.
So that was
the
rumor. That was the rumor during the playoffs. Remember, but then he ended up signing an extension. Remember, there was thought that they were going to move. There was thought that they were going to move on from after this past year.
Yeah,
I think he's safe now for another year. But yeah, okay. Anyway, we know it's going to happen. We'll keep an eye on that. It'll be some coaches immediately on the hot seat after like 3 weeks of the season if they get off to an 0-3 start and they had expectations.
Happens every single year. There's no doubt about it.
Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, we'll get an update on Mansour Delane, what Brett Veach had to say yesterday. Maybe a positive sign for him moving forward. And what are we going to do now that the chase is over for a card that's worth over like $3 million? That's next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
The first ever Infiniti QX65 feels unstoppable. In a world that is frozen in its ways, this sporty fastback SUV never stops moving forward. Turbocharged performance, intelligent all-wheel drive standard, ProPilot Assist 2.1. This is a ride beyond the expected. This is unstoppable progress. Discover the first ever Infiniti QX65 at InfinityUSA.com. 2027 QX65 expected early summer 2026.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You work hard, you pay your bills, but with credit cards, higher gas and grocery prices, you're making the payments, but not getting ahead. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Golden Oak can help you refinance, consolidate bills, and free up monthly cash flow. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. There's never a charge to talk with us.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
When your joints hurt every single day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option left. But please, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Before you schedule that surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with the pain of bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or just years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver real relief to patients right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools from within your own body, targeting the exact spot that's causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. So get your free consultation at QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located at 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you've got real work to do,
Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done, fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size, fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp live up in St. Joe. Probably another 20 minutes maybe of practice left today on a Tuesday. Full padded practice once again, as it will be moving forward for the Chiefs. They are off on Friday, so we'll be up here tomorrow and Thursday as well as they get set for Chiefs-Rams preseason game number 1. We're expected to be joined by R. Mason Thomas here probably about 30 minutes or so if we had to estimate. Sometimes practice goes a little later than normal, but R. Mason Thomas, Chiefs' second-round draft pick, going to join us. We're also going to hear from Rashee Rice for the first time this offseason about his offseason. I don't know how much he'll talk about it, but he'll be asked about it. And, of course, just his role in this offense and where he's at in terms of conditioning, because we know that was an issue maybe to start camp a week or so ago, but now he's in there and pretty much been a full go. Well, I'm sure he'll be asked about Cyrus Allen as well. So all that coming up a little bit later on this hour. You guys can always interact with us on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. And, yes, when you click on there, you'll notice that Drew dropped my figurine, and I am headless now. So
yeah,
that is
box
the thing.
and
That is very real. It didn't. I don't know. How clean of a break was it?
It looked pretty clean, actually.
You think it'll glue okay?
I think so, actually.
I think it will glue okay because I like I said, I nudged the box and the figurine tipped over and it landed right on the head and the head popped straight. I think it was a clean.
Those are very fragile. They're like not.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't know if they're porcelain, but they're 3D printed. It's not porcelain, but it's.
Yeah, they're not meant to be tossed around.
I didn't toss it. I told you I bumped the box that it sits on. By the way, is also not very stable for one, but also if you bump the box. Yeah, it's going to tip over. I did not toss it. I did not pick it up and throw it down. I did not drop it. I never had it in my hand.
I am, just for the sake of drops, going to recommend you stop saying bump the box, just for a variety of reasons. But that's other than that. Look, man, things happen.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Accidents happen, you know. It's tough. Tough living, Drew. Tough.
I own it.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. So Brett Veach was on SiriusXM yesterday, and he was talking about the offseason, and he was asked about Mansour Delane. And I'll read you this quote from Brett Veach, and I think it should make everybody feel a little bit better about him moving forward. Quote, with Mansour, he had a shoulder blade injury right towards the end of OTAs. We don't think it's going to be long-term or anything, but that has to just completely heal. But there's nothing limiting him out there. He's been taking all the 7-on-7 reps. It's just the team periods and the contact stuff we want to leave him out of right now. But I'd say in the next 7 to 8 days, he'll probably get the green light to do everything. So we're excited about him. That last part's the key. The other stuff we've already known. We've told you he's been doing stuff but the team portion, etc. That last part is key. And yesterday was, we'll call it now, we're down to a week. So check in a week from now. He claims it looks like in a week he'll probably get the green light to do everything. Let's see if that happens.
Yeah, and look, Brett Veach has a tendency to be far more honest and forthright than some other people to a flaw for a while there. I think the Chiefs realized he maybe said more than he should at times, or at least Andy probably felt that way at times. But training camp ends next Thursday, I think, is the final day of regular training camp. You and I will be up here through next Wednesday. I still don't think he's going to get out of a yellow jersey before we get out of St. Joe. Because the truth is, why not just wait? 2 more practices, get through 1 more preseason game, and then start fresh. You'd still have 2 more weeks till your season started, a 3rd preseason game to get him reps. And the problem is Brett Veach is saying, he's pretty much getting all the reps, it's fine. But we got Spags a couple days saying, sure, we should be cool if we could get him out there for those other reps. And look, maybe that's because
right, but
Spags
if he can be,
is,
if the medical staff can fully clear him next Wednesday, then he's fully cleared next Wednesday. You know what I mean? I don't think that you don't hold. I mean, it's not whether or not if the medical staff says he can be cleared next Wednesday. If that actually is the case, then he'll practice next Wednesday.
I think you're probably right, but I just don't know if 7 to 8 is an optimistic timeline or a real one.
For sure,
because they from the jump when they were, and look, he at least admitted what the injury was from the jump. That's the first time we've actually heard what the injury was. To be clear.
Yeah, something with a shoulder blade. Is what
that's more information that we had on the physical injury than at any other point until yesterday. And they initially just made it seem like, he's just like, you know how it is, like, dinged up. And you're like, he hasn't been available in a yellow non-contact jersey, outside of a yellow non-contact jersey, for all of training camp. They do training camp for like 5 weeks. We're up here all the time. It's like, it's a lot of practices. This isn't like a short amount of time. Sometimes I tell you to put it in perspective. Had he had this injury in October, he would have missed the entire month. He wouldn't have been available till mid-November maybe, or December, because remember, he hurt it in a much earlier portion of the season and then missed all that time. He might have been out September to late November with his injury. So it's not a minor injury. It was never a minor injury, in my opinion. It was always a serious injury that took, maybe not so serious it needed surgery, but serious enough that he needed 2 months off of, or at least partial months off of work. Because that would be the question I guess I'd love to ask Brett Veach, which is, if you guys had to play the Super Bowl today, not just a regular season game, the Super Bowl today, could he play with it? Could he play in an AFC title game? What's the limitation? Right. At that stage, the answer is probably yes.
The question is the re-injury risk, and I have no idea what that is. We don't, no clue. We also don't even know what the actual injury is yet, so it's impossible to try to answer that. But yeah, they would know the answer. They know exactly what the injury is. So promising. I hope it's true, but promising from Brett Veach yesterday on XM that he says 7 to 8 days. So maybe next week we get fully cleared Mansour Delane. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to not hold him to, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on that timeline, and I'm not going to count the yellow jersey until I will no longer be saying, hey, he's in a yellow jersey until we get to next week and I get a sense of it, right? There's no reason to, ask or rush the scenario now because we knew it was taking a long time, and I still think it'll be the end of training camp anyway. I think we'll have to wait till somebody's out at camp, we're out of camp, and they're observing the media portion of practice, the week after training camp, before their 3rd preseason game. And somebody eventually will say, oh, you know what? I see Delane out here. He's in a regular contact jersey. Because my guess is that they'd love for him to be able to play in a preseason game. And they don't want to just walk into week 1 against Denver hoping that he is the kind of corner that they need him to be. He took some good reps today, by the way.
Him and Taekwon had a nice matchup a couple times in one-on-one drills.
There were a couple of good battles. Cyrus Allen looked good today. So we'll see, they've got some injuries that not only have made it back to the field, but they got to make sure stay on the field, right? So, that part of it. Because, Cyrus Allen got banged up earlier today, too. He left the field on his own, but, he held that, he was holding that, remember, limping a little bit again. Do you think that that's the shin again? We'll ask Nate Taylor, I guess, maybe later.
Yeah, who knows?
But he left the field on his own, and so we have to, keep an eye out on that, at least based on there. He came back on the field later, so maybe it just got, maybe just rolled on it weird. It's hard to say. But at least something that did take place at a portion of it. So we'll see where it goes. But, yeah, it's more information than we had. Gold, how about that? It's
definitely.
More than we've had at any particular point, so we'll absolutely take it. We're at the special teams portion of practice. So,
another 5 or 10 minutes maybe
before they stretch and do all that. So hopefully at the start of the Chiefs Red half hour, I'm hoping we'll have our Mason Thomas available for you. You and I. We're talking about sports cards the other day because the new NBA set
and we're opening up packs.
And we're opening up packs thanks to the Art of Sports.
Yeah, the Art of Sports gave us some Topps Chrome football, and so every player opens packs with us. We have yet to get an auto, but the big chase in the card world has been a new Topps product that came out last week for basketball, update series.
Correct.
The Cooper Flag debut patch. Those are the patches that are sewn on in their debut game. And they do this for the NBA. There's also NFL players now that are starting to have their version of it. Baseball was the first to do it.
Yep.
And so the Cooper Flag one was the big chase. Well, the one-of-one Cooper Flag that might go for over $3 million was pulled by a card shop / break group in Rhode Island last night. Can you imagine? By the way, the video, they were not even that excited.
What?
Yeah, I was shocked. They were not even that excited in the card break group. I was like, what are we doing?
We'd been doing high fives. We'd be going, well, and people who are paying to be in a card break group and paying to do that, they want their reaction. People had more of an excitement for your one-of-one Caitlin Clark than they did for the Cooper Flag debut patch. It's a $3 million card. Were they not excited because they were sad they pulled it and somebody else won it?
I don't know if
was it in a break or were they just breaking?
No, it was in a break. I think it was a 3-box break. So 3 hobby boxes. For those who don't know the break, somebody bought the Cowboys, the Mavericks spot, so they would have got any card that was the Mavericks. Sometimes they do a player break, so you pay for the Cooper Flag spot, which is very expensive. Well, whoever had it got ridiculously lucky, basically won the lottery. And now they can choose to, auction it or whatever. There's bounties out there.
Bounties, yeah.
The smart plan is to go to auction with it. Honestly,
I would too.
I think if you send it to a place like Golden, I think it can go for $3.5 to $4.5 million. Golden already said they'll give you a $1.5 million cash advance and then send it to auction.
What do you think? Just out of curiosity, in that scenario, we talk about tipping culture being out of control. They pull a 101. Is it a tipping scenario?
It depends.
With the breakers, do I give them a little cut for
a card like that? I think you throw them a few bucks at the end of it when it's all
What's
settled.
A few bucks? Like 1,000, 10,000?
If it sells for
let's say it sells for $3 million.
$3 million, I think $5 to $10K.
Okay.
If it's a break group that you use all the time, right? Like if it's somebody that you know,
give me the card quickly. We don't have any problems.
That'd be $5 to $10K, depending on the exact sale price after taxes, etc.
I think that's fair. Would they accept it in trade, or if you just send them a bunch of high-end products? Well,
you write them a check, probably.
Yeah.
You write them a check.
Or give them cash, so the old tax man doesn't have to find that,
That's right. Yep. No, this is an above-board show. Everything is reported to the IRS. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's reported to the IRS.
I was just, I didn't know how people handled it when it was a massive break like that. But doesn't that hurt? Doesn't that so as somebody who very cursory, like I know it through you, or I might see some videos or whatever. Like I don't get into breaks a bunch or anything like that. Not to say I never have, but it's not like something I do commonly.
Yeah.
And so when you are like, that feels like it devalues any of these breaks for everybody.
Oh, the cost
across the board.
So if you go,
that's the thing we're all chasing.
Yeah. So like if you go to the Art of Sports, you go there, and I don't want to quote a price. I don't know whatever price they were charging for a hobby box last week. Let's say it was $1,000. I have no idea. Okay. That price, now that's pulled, you're going to see once the market adjusts, it's going to go down a little bit. It just is because now there's a ton of debut patches for other players and some other very high-end cards. You can still find some very expensive cards, not $3.5 million worth, but there's still some. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see in the next day or two what the price looks like for unopened boxes. Therefore, the box breaks the breaks will go down in price a little bit too for random team and stuff like that. But there's still plenty of big chase cards out there.
I will say the debut batch is kind of crazy because Cooper Flag is so young in his NBA career, he can't afford it. Like, he can't afford to buy that card.
I mean, he could have somebody help him, yeah.
I mean, he needs some help, but, he can't just, take it out of the account. He doesn't have enough, even with his signing bonus. I'm not sure he can just, flush $4 million.
I don't know what his endorsement deals are like. He could.
He definitely got some NIL money.
Someone was asking, why is it so significant? So, again, it's a patch from the first game he ever wore as a player.
And he was the first overall pick.
And so the thought is he's going to be one of the league's biggest stars long term. This was before. They didn't do the debut patch, I don't believe, when Wemby was a rookie. But essentially, there's one-of-ones of rookies that are worth a lot. Then there's one-of-ones that are autographed that are worth a lot. This is a autographed with a debut patch one-of-one of one of the biggest stars in the league.
Is there any part of you that would hold it for 5 years?
No, absolutely not.
You said, if someone's staring $3.5 million in my face, I'm selling.
Yeah, you let somebody else that is that doesn't that's already has plenty of money and already invests, etc. to do that. Otherwise, no. If you're just average person that you spent, I don't know, let's say you spent $1,000 on cards to try to pull this, and you pulled that card, you have to sell it if someone's giving you $3.5 million for it.
But even though down the road someone's going to sell it for 10,
that's just what you have to live with.
You have to. You could also.
So many other things could happen. Yeah. Something could happen with the card industry. Something could happen with your own health. Something could happen with Cooper Flag's health. Way too many variables.
I mean, I will say the risk of the bubble bursting, in the card game or any of these collectible markets, that would scare me.
Someone says, why would the first game player ever have his jersey butchered? It's just the patch. They don't cut up the whole jersey. So this year, when maybe again, some people don't watch the NBA, but if you do, or if you watch any baseball player that has their debut, Look at their jersey the very first game. So Cags has one of these, by the way. The very first game they play, there's a little patch on the jersey that says debut patch or whatever. They cut off that patch or they unsew it or whatever, and then they put that in a card. That's what they're not destroying the entire jersey. It's just this specific patch that Topps, through their partnerships with these leagues, pays money to have the right to have this patch. The player does not have the right to the patch. That's not how that works. A player wants the patch, they got to buy the card themselves.
Yeah. And look, he'll still have his debut jersey if he wants that and all the other stuff that comes with it. But
it's crazy. For over $3 million. That chase only lasted a week. That's the only bummer.
That's the
Topps was hoping that thing was going to drag on for a couple months.
Well, and sometimes people, like, if it gets pulled privately, they might keep it a little bit of a secret for a while. Has the Jack Caglione one been found yet?
I don't remember. Cag's debut patch.
I just didn't know.
I don't know if it's been found yet. I don't believe so.
Okay. I just didn't know.
I'd have to look.
We should ask Jack Caglione the next time we're in the Royals clubhouse because I didn't know whether or not that one had been discovered. He's openly said he wants to buy his. So we'll see which version of it they get. But interesting. I'm looking. I don't see anybody saying they found it, but maybe it's still there. There's a... No, that's just a regular card. That's a one-of-one rookie card with a patch, but it's not the debut patch one, I guess.
Someone says it sucks you have to get it in the hobby boxes to get those kind of cards. Yeah, so what Topps did with this product is they gave out a whole checklist. There was actually a higher percentage of debut patches in blaster boxes, I believe, for this product than normal. So they tried to make it more accessible. That's why people do the box breaks because the boxes are very, very expensive. So people do these breaks, but it's essentially kind of gambling, right? So you're trying to buy a share into a box that has, let's say, a break that has 5 boxes, and you're not going to normally want to spend $5,000 on boxes. So you buy 2 slots and you spend $100, and you hope you get the right team, and you hope that's the right box, and that's
like you got really lucky on one. But
most people, are not going to go and spend $5,000 on boxes to rip.
Well,
some people do though,
and even some of these breaker groups, right? They don't necessarily have it unless they were selling the spots. It is a business for them. They do it for entertainment purposes and all these other things, but it's also like they don't make some huge profit on it all the time, but in the end, it's a business, you know?
And by the way, update on the Cags thing. Someone texted in, and then I just found the release schedule and everything. The Cags debut patch is not out yet. The Topps Chrome update, it'll be in that, so it's not even available yet. But it's coming. That's according to this texter, and then I think I saw the release schedule now.
Okay, so that feels like maybe, can we just get one? Can we get one for the show? One
we
little blaster
we can
and
do whatever you want. If you want
to
buy a box, let's do it.
Just
when that time comes, we can try.
Just the Cody and Gold
very
road trip.
Difficult.
By the way, Cody and Gold road trip for all the people trying to claim that we're cursed. So far, we've made 2 road trips, other than the trip itself being cursed. We've made 2 road trips. Jack Caglione and Bobby Wood Jr. I think we've chosen some good players to go see in the early part of the career. Cags hit an 0-2 homer off of Tarek Skubal in the game last night.
Yeah, he's on a heater right now. He's been amazing in the last week in particular. Actually, last 4 days in particular.
Yeah, he's been very, very, very good. Their bullpen blew it again last night, in case you didn't stay up late, by the way.
Yeah, I ended up watching that game, actually. And then I saw that bizarre ruling in the Red Sox game. Red Sox were playing the Toronto Blue Jays.
4 outs or something?
Yeah, it was a 4-out rule. They didn't appeal at third base, so there was the runners on base thought there were already 2 outs, so they just kept running. So they doubled them up, so there's 3 outs. But they left the field before they threw the ball to third. So even though it was clearly the runner clearly didn't tag up, the Red Sox got a run because the Blue Jays did not appeal. Now, the argument would be if the runner knew how many outs there were, he would have just tagged up anyway, and he would have scored. So it probably should have been 1 run no matter what. But it's just a weird scenario last night, the 4th out, where even though you caught the ball in the outfield, you threw it to first, the runner got doubled up, so there was 3 outs. The runner that crossed home plate that didn't tag up still technically scored. Bizarre.
Yeah, that's insane.
Bizarre,
it makes no sense. It's a very weird quirk.
All right, let's get to Trash of the Day.
Trash of the Day.
All right, this one's football related. Pretty quick here because then we're going to get a break before our Mason Thomas joins us from training camp. Did you see the story about a high school football player that was practicing and he had something inside his helmet? He didn't know it at the time. So this is in Arkansas. There was a high school football player practiced for an hour with a venomous snake in his helmet, did not know. Yeah, it was wiggling around in his helmet until his coaches discovered the snake. The athletic director there said his staff was left stunned after one of their players brought in his helmet for inspection during the middle of practice because he felt something. Only for them to find a 2-foot-long cottonmouth snake inside. And there's a photo of it on New York Post has an article. This snake clearly up in the padding of the helmet. It's a venomous snake. This dude was practicing. This high school kid was practicing during it. And the school staff was able to secure the helmet inside a tote bag for animal services to arrive and take custody of the snake. They don't know how they showed how the agency was able to safely submerge the helmet in a sink to coax the serpent into coming out, and then they captured it.
Part of you thinks that somebody was doing that as a prank and didn't realize they had a venomous snake?
I don't know.
I would keep real quiet if I was the person who put a snake. Backup quarterback? Anybody check his alibi?
Backup quarterback.
Might want to just be sure.
What high school kid is handling a venomous snake? Other than,
I don't know. What
Steve
state was it in?
Kid.
What? I mean, come on, man. We got Xavier Legette eating raccoon. Maybe it's just some country kid, dude. What state? Gold?
Arkansas.
Oh yeah, true. They all handle venomous snakes there. Come on now. Could have been anybody. We don't know. There's some real rural parts of Arkansas. Not the whole state, but there's certainly parts of it that are at least portioned in there. So, I don't want to rule that out.
That is the trash of the day. By the way, we were just talking last hour about quarterbacks and legacies, and I was saying that the reports out of Minnesota that Kyler and J.J. McCarthy were closer, and we're like, are they really? And in terms of their camp battle, Adam Schefter just tweeted out the Vikings have named Kyler Murray their starting quarterback.
Okay, so it wasn't really a competition if you've decided a month before the season
makes
started.
Me feel better about being bullish on the Vikings. I know people are telling me that Kyler stinks. I think he's going to have a good year with Kevin O'Connell. All right, let's get an early break in because they're wrapping up their stretch portion, which means we're going to probably have Spags speaking at the podium. Rasheed Rice will probably speak after we have R. Mason Thomas join us from the table. So those are all coming up right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel is giving new customers up to $1,000 in bet resets. Bet $5 daily and unlock $200 in bet resets every day. That's right. New customers can place a $5 bet each day and receive up to $200 in bet resets, up to $1,000 total. So whether you're betting those money lines, maybe player props or same-game parlays, FanDuel has you covered. Place your daily $5 bet and then unlock up to $1,000 in bet resets. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, your home for home runs. FanDuel is an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Minimum $5 wager required for 5 consecutive days. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bet reset tokens. Refund from token issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $200 per day. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry. At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's up, Chiefs fans? It's Travis Kelce, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour with Cody and Gold. Weekdays at 11:30 on 96.5 The Fan.
Back here in St. Joe, practice has wrapped up. They're now doing kind of their separate drills on their own work on the side here before they officially head up the hill, before our Mason Thomas makes his way over to our broadcast location. We'll talk to the Chiefs' second round draft pick here momentarily. We'll also hear from Steve Spagnuolo in a little bit, and Rashee Rice is going to be at the podium. He has not spoke yet, but you will hear that at some point after we speak with our Mason Thomas. Nate Taylor's also going to stop by. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you.
I'd be very curious to ask Nate. I don't think we've asked him about Rashee Rice yet. Something I had mentioned maybe a week ago, which is like, is there any fear this injury is going to slow him down? As a guy who wasn't the world beater, get open against everybody, pure athleticism type, will that continue or not? Don't know. We'll find out here soon enough. Is Rashee Rice scheduled to speak to the media for the first time, I imagine, all offseason?
I think it is. It's definitely the first time since he had the probation violation. But I know it's at least that, but I think it might be the first time since the season ended.
As a reminder, the Chiefs did make a signing earlier. We'll talk about that with Nate Taylor, and then later on the show, Emmanuel Ogbah coming back to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal. No details yet financially, but it's going to be cheap. I'll make it clear.
With incentives to bump it up to something. Right?
Maybe. I mean, we just saw somebody not that long ago get $5.5 million, you said, for Jadeveon Clowney. I would think based on production last season alone, that number's coming in a little bit less, and so we'll see which version of it we get.
Yeah, Clowney's was 5.5 with incentives to go to 8. So what's Ogbah's? 1.5 with incentives to get it to 4 or 5 or something.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers.
But those incentives are probably low enough that you would think it's not necessarily going to happen. So I guess I don't overly fear it in that regard, and so we'll see which way they end up going with it. But to me, it's still just a defensive line depth move.
While we're waiting for our Mason Thomas, Steve Spagnuolo, his defensive coordinator, speaking to the media right now.
Yeah. Some guys are getting a lot of, with Drew down, some other guys are getting a lot of reps, and I like what Jeff's been doing. Jack is a jack of all trades. You see, you guys, when you're watching, you see he plays every spot there, whether we're in sub, whether we're in base. I just think it's an opportunity with some of these guys out for those other guys to step up and get a lot of reps. Yeah. Now, I would agree with that. I think he's like a couple of these other guys that are in their second year. It makes a huge difference when you can come here to St. Joe's after, your second wave of OTAs because they had their rookie year, and I just think they feel more comfortable when they get tired. It isn't as, taxing because you know a little bit more about the defense.
Steve, what couple of things do you think you're most eager to see Saturday? I'm sure there's many, but
yeah.
Are there a couple, 3 things that really stand out?
Vi, always the first one is tackling, and that probably is preceded by what we call block destruction and getting off of blocks. And quite frankly, not so much today, I'd have to watch the film, but yesterday I didn't like the fact that a lot of run plays, and we're getting a lot more run plays than we used to. A lot of those run plays were going right down the middle of our defense. Now, we're not tackling, and it's not live, but I would like to see us be a little bit more physical. So I'm looking for the physicality, the tacking, the block destruction. Those would be the most important things.
Anything particular positionally, or sort of too all-encompassing to say?
Pretty much all-encompassing, although I do think I think we've had a secondary, a defensive backfield that has tackled pretty well over the years. And I'd like these new guys to come in and embrace that and be good on the back end. So I'll be looking for that, but really overall.
All right, so that was Steve Spagnuolo speaking to the media. Let's talk to one of his newest defensive players, of course, drafted in the second round this year. We're joined by R. Mason Thomas here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. We were just listening to your coach there, Spags. What's it like being coached up by him? I think back around the draft process, you made the comparison. He reminds you of Brent Venables a little bit.
Yeah, they're the exact same person. Play caller. It's crazy how I got drafted to a similar system. Yeah, playing for a guy like Coach Spags, knows a lot, been around the game a lot, so you could take something from him every day.
When you look at, I guess, a guy like Spags and Venables, do you like that coaching style? Do you feel like, all right, lucky, got the same guy that I had before?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not as a freshman coming in, but now, yes, like knowing how he coaches, how he responds to certain things, how you should respond to the things he gives to you. Yeah, it gets a little easier.
What's been the biggest adjustment, like you mentioned, like high school, then you're a freshman in college? What's been the maybe surprise adjustment or biggest adjustment for you from college player to NFL player?
College player to NFL. You have to be more detailed. Like, how do I put this? What you do is not enough. It's never going to be enough. But you can always get better at something. And it's like it's really the small things. When people say, like, your alignment, your step, that's the type of stuff that helps you make a play or you miss a play. Like, the inches matter. And that's something that I think I'm starting to progress in even more. Even since college, I thought I had it all down packed in college, and then you come here and it's like you're starting all over like a freshman again. So I think it's those small details that you have to really be key on.
You spoke the other day, and it sounds like you really enjoy, like, truly being like the cliche, student of the game. It seems like you really like studying up just the sport. What has that always been your thing, or is that more just, as you were just saying, you got to always improve your craft?
Yeah, I think it's always trying to improve things. It's not fun, for sure. Like, sometimes I don't feel like watching film. Sometimes I don't feel like getting coached. Like that's the realness of it. Sometimes the truth doesn't always feel good, but it's necessary for your growth. So sometimes when you think you're getting in a down mood or anything like that, you just look back at days like these where, it could have been worse, or, something else could happen, but you can control your response. Like either you're going to watch film or you're going to go to bed on time, or just little things like that. Like that's what kind of makes it break. And I started to develop that. I haven't been like that, but I started to develop that in college for sure.
When you get into an NFL team, you immediately start looking for people to talk with. Do you just go straight to the OU guys? You go to Winchester and Creed, or do you find other young players? How do you go about I guess?
Wanye, Winchester, Creed. Yeah, I definitely went to them, and then Ethan Downs, and then
guys.
Yeah. Then I went to my draft class. Everybody in there like Peter Woods, Mac, BJ. I went to those guys for sure. I hang out with them all the time because now that you think, it's like the older guys are really, 30-something.
Hey, easy, I'm in my 40s.
You can relate to the younger guys more than you're saying. All right.
Some jokes aren't funny when it's Chris Jones. It's like I don't know if that's going to work on them, so I just let me go over there and make that joke.
Who's the funny? Okay, now you got me wondering who out of the draft class then the younger guys on the team. Who's the funniest guy? Is that you?
Dunny. No, I'm not funny. It's Dunny. He is just he's a character. It's hard to explain. You have to get him on an interview because
all right.
What his responses, his whole demeanor is just funny. We just call him Dunny. I don't even know his first name. That's bad. I know his last name is.
I'll be honest. I don't know who you're talking about.
94 D-line. UDFA.
Okay.
I want to say Vincent Dunn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you said Dunny. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
we call him Dunny. Yeah.
Right.
Now that I think about it, I only know his nickname. I don't even know his first name.
Okay.
But 94. You have to get him. But he's hilarious. It's like he can make you laugh whenever.
We got Anthony Dunn.
Okay. Anthony Dunn.
God, since his last name's Dunn.
That makes sense. We got R. Mason Thomas hanging out with us here on 96.5 The Fan. So what do you do for fun outside of football, though? Whether it's with maybe it is with your teammates, but even in the dorms here, what's your escape, I guess, from football a little bit? Do you have one?
Right now, nothing. It's wake up, come out here, about football, wake up, come out here, go to bed, football. What is it? I don't want to know what day it is, to be honest. It's probably like day 17 of fall camp.
Sounds about right. You made it. It's August 11th. You got your first preseason game, though, coming up on Saturday.
To be honest, I didn't even know we had that, too. I feel like it just – I don't even know what's going on half the time.
It all blends together.
Yeah. Sometimes they blow the whistle. I don't know which field to go to. I don't know what drill we're doing sometimes. I just feel like I'm lost sometimes.
I was saying, is it slowing down at all, though, for you?
Yeah, it's definitely getting better, getting used to the schedule, getting used to, your body's trying to find a routine, and I think my body's starting to catch on a little bit.
Who on the defensive line is impressed you the most? You mentioned Chris Jones, Peter Woods, a fellow rookie with you.
Yeah.
When you get up against some of these other guys, it's like everyone was the best player on their college team.
Yeah.
What stands out, I guess, in the early going from some of your other teammates?
Yeah, definitely Josh Simmons. He's definitely a guy that I always want to go against. And, like the one-on-ones or the teams, sometimes I want to go over to the side, but I know I can't do that all the time. Coach tells somebody else to go. But, yeah, he's a guy that, that really gets competition out of me, out of a lot of the D-line. And I know out of, what am I trying to say?
Seems like George and Chris and some of these other guys challenge themselves against him.
Like Josh, yeah. He's definitely somebody you want to beat. That's what I'm trying to – you want to beat – it makes you feel good when you beat him.
Yeah. Getting a win against him counts.
That really counts, yeah.
We got R. Mason Thomas with us here on 96.5 The Fan. We were doing a little research before you came on the show. You were a lifeguard once? Is that right?
Yeah.
When was this? What's the background there?
So my mom always puts us in swimming lessons when we were younger, like 4 years old. I hate the water. It always used to be cold. Temperature never used to be right. Then she was like – she kind of – groomed us into being a lifeguard because we always went swimming lessons. The pool's always fun. And she's like, well, you can make this your summer job when you're not doing sports. So we all, well, not we all, just me and my older sister became lifeguards. And then we started working there over the summer and everything like that. So that was my first job ever, was a lifeguard at 16. Yeah.
Someone, I think in the interview it said, after the playing days, maybe you'll go back to it.
Maybe.
Is that something you'd still do?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would. I'd probably be a lot lighter because I know I can't float right now. I'm 250. So, I mean, swimming was definitely easier when you were lighter, like 185 pounds. Like, I think I was swimming faster at 14 than at 21. And so I think I'm going to slim up a little bit, probably be like 220. So maybe I'll go back into the aquatic life, something like that.
Okay, that's not a bad way to go about it.
Before we let you go, so I don't know, have you ever opened sports cards before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so our friends over at the Art of Sports gave us some Topps Chrome packs. I'll have you open these. Let's see. We're still looking for an auto, okay?
Yeah.
We haven't got any autographs yet. We've only gotten one Chiefs player, so let's see what you open up. Maybe you're the lucky charm here. So
maybe I need to pray first. All right,
what we got?
Devontae Smith. That's a good pull.
We're looking for autos. We're looking for numbers. We're looking for colored cards. What's that? There was one other behind.
Behind that?
You're good, Cedric Tillman. All right, let's see what the next pack. That pack was just base cards, what they call base cards. So
okay.
Let's see if we got any numbers or autos in this next pack.
So the rare ones are the.
You want like the ones that are different colors or numbers or auto. So it looks like those are all base as well.
Dang.
Cody, anything?
I didn't look, but at least Brendan's out there some colors, so let's have a look at those.
Maybe better chance on that last pack. Let's see what we got.
Let's see.
Okay, this is right. This is good.
Marion Hampton's
a rookie card.
Division foe, and then what is that? Felton. Rookie card. All right.
Rookie card.
Our best pull so far, we have a Jalen Hurts numbered card we got at one point. With I can't remember which player pulled that, but we're still looking for an auto.
Yeah.
Will we get your rookie cards here in a couple months or something? Have you signed any cards before, like through Panini? Anybody?
Yeah, I have. Hopefully, yeah, we can get something like that.
We'll try. We'll try to get something good down the road.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you.
R. Mason Thomas with us here on 96.5 The Fan. If you don't mind joining your teammates signing this helmet for charity.
For sure.
Thinking of signing an autograph, so this will end up being for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So we raised some money for them.
If you haven't been.
No, I have. They definitely.
How was that?
It was fun. They definitely forced us to come. But overall, it was definitely it was a cool experience. Player development did force us, but it was cool overall.
Bob Kendrick show you around, I hope?
Yeah, he did. Okay. He did. He had a long dissertation. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. R. Mason Thomas with us here on 96.5 The Fan. Good to talk with the Chiefs' second-round pick. Getting set for his first preseason game on Saturday against the Rams. All our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com as he now goes over and signs some autographs for some fans that were hanging out while we were talking to him. Look, I will say, out of the interviews we have done, he seemed the loosest of everybody we've talked to, maybe of training camp so far. I enjoyed talking to him.
I did too, and I genuinely appreciated the honesty where he's like, hey, look, sometimes, because this is true of life, sometimes in life you don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to work really hard today at training camp and have to get better and go through all this trouble and do all these things. And in a lot of ways, I don't blame him for thinking that at times. But also, like, it is still a lot, man, to be a rookie. And he's like, I don't even know what drill I'm doing half the time. I mean, all that stuff I very much can sympathize with.
Yeah, just real and genuine and being authentic. I definitely appreciate that. All right, let's go to the podium. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice speaking to the media right now.
I'm 100% locked in on what's going on now with the team. Ready to go out there and dominate, and that I got a good group of brotherhood behind me. I learned an experience, a reality check, and don't focus on the past, focus on what's going on now.
Obviously, with everything that you've done, mentally, how are you doing?
I'm doing good mentally. I got the right group of guys around me, just good agents, good coaches, small circle on anybody else outside that's not part of the football team, just keeping my head straight and also keeping me in a positive attitude.
Within that circle, who do you lean on the most?
I mean, I had times where I could talk to my trainers, times where me and Pat are during the summer just grinding in the facility, just me and him and the trainers. So it's always good to keep building that relationship on and off the field, and just kind of having somebody that you know will always back you, have support for them.
Just considering your rehab was very good, I guess how do you feel like the rehab process went?
I think it went good. I was in there early in the morning until it was time for me to go, as much as I could work, and just constantly doing that over and over. Just kind of basically believing in what they had dialed up for me to make sure my knee was strong and ready for the field.
It's obviously a contract, 63 days. How motivating
I mean, it's motivating. Honestly, just being able to be back on the field with my brothers right now is motivating. So that's in the future right now. Right now I'm just focused on what's going on right now, and that's getting better for the team. Honestly, I thought it was probably just a little bit of swelling. I didn't know it was something that needed to have surgery. So we kind of taught to just keep going until you can't anymore. And it was a perfect time for me to get it cleaned up so that it wouldn't affect me for this season. So I was ready to go regardless.
You know, most people only know you, fans only know you from headlines and stories. How do you explain who you are to people who only know you from headlines?
I would say I'm a positive guy. I'm a great person to feed off as far as energy. A smiling guy mostly at all times. Unless it's time for work, I'm serious. And then I'm a father, so I take like most responsibility in being a good father to my boys.
Where do you want to improve the most this year? Where do you want to improve the most this year?
Where do I want to improve the most? Honestly, I would want to improve the most on certain plays that I know specifically aren't coming to me, just because it's a full concept and everybody's going to eat and everybody got to get the ball.
Can you tell what your rehab was like? How you did rehab the knee?
Yeah, I mean, I would stretch it, do some activation on it, and then hit the weight room, and then jog in the Ultra G, and just condition, getting the muscle fatigue going as well as my stamina.
You mentioned just your smiling nature on it. We start to see it, but was it tough that month?
I've had surgery before. I would say the best part about it was being able to be in there with Pat, knowing that he had a more serious surgery and how hard he was working. It just kind of motivated me, and then he pulling up in the craziest cars every day, so he's just my motivation every morning.
What about the jail time machine? Was that much fun?
Was that? Yeah, it was tough. It was mentally tough. They gave me ways to communicate with my teammates still, and as well as my athletic trainer. So, I mean, besides the hard times in there, I kept my mind right, watching shows and as much Kevin Hart as I can to laugh. And then without that, just communicate with everybody on the outside.
Rasheed, you said you learned a lesson from this. What is that lesson you say you learned?
Honestly, it's just a reality check and not taking anything for granted.
When it comes to part of the new coaching staff, what is jumped out to you most about Chad O'Shea, how he leads that room, and what the enemy is like on the field when you guys are practicing?
Yeah, real detailed. Detailed on the things that aren't really things that are looked upon as far as like when you don't have the ball finishing to go block. We got a crazy running back K9, so there's no telling where the ball's going to end up at the end of the play. We got guys like Cyrus Allen and Taekwon that's going to win down the field, might just need one more block. So as far as being in the room with O'Shea, is details, and being on the field, it's just kind of hectic situations and staying calm at that moment.
Last couple, Matt and Steve. Go ahead, Matt.
You really haven't had a chance yet where you've been on the field, Xavier, Taekwon, and Cyrus, and all been available time. What do you feel like that quartet can do together when you are healthy and you are playing together?
We're going to do some amazing things, not only because we're great receivers, but because we got a good coaching staff around us, as well as a good quarterback and a foundation in general.
Steve, you said you mentioned having kids. I know you got a lot of young guys that look up to you, whether they're Pop Warner all the way up to high school top. What would your message be to those guys that may be going?
Find someone that you can lean on, find someone that you can talk to, and just basically don't be scared to vocalize yourself and say exactly what's on your mind, because somebody else is going through the same thing. Too many people in the world to not go through the same thing.
All right, so that was Rasheed Rice speaking to the media after practice today. The first time we've heard from Rasheed really since last football season. We all know everything that took place this offseason. Massive year ahead for him. You heard him speak about that. We're going to get Nate Taylor's reaction to what Rasheed Rice had to say. Also, talk a little bit more about Emmanuel Ogbah signing a deal with the Chiefs as Nate Taylor from ESPN joins us next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Brad Eddy on Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
When your joints hurt every single day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option left. But please, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Before you schedule that surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with the pain of bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or just years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver real relief to patients right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools from within your own body, targeting the exact spot that's causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. So get your free consultation at QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located at 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
Summer's here and Smokehouse Barbecue has you covered. If you're planning on grilling out, let Smokehouse Barbecue handle the heavy lifting with all the sides. If you're having family in town for vacation, bring them by. They have room to accommodate large parties. And if you're heading up to St. Joe for training camp, make Smokehouse Barbecue your ultimate pit stop for the best barbecue in Kansas City. Visit them in Gladstone, Zona Rosa, or Independence, or at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at adventhealthchampionship.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Tune into the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Rams, Saturday, August 15th with pregame at 2 and kickoff at 3, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, we're back here in St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you. We got Nate Taylor from ESPN joining us as practice has wrapped up. Don't forget, our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Nate, we heard from Rashee Rice for the first time since towards the end of last season, I believe. Obviously, a lot has happened since then for him.
Yep.
Huge year, contract-wise, long-term impact in the NFL. What did you make of what he had to say? I understand he didn't dive too much into stuff, but he did say he claims he's learned from his mistakes.
He said enough. He said what he could say.
Yeah.
He talked about it more than I thought.
Yeah, he didn't want to go into detail, and I do think, to both your guys' credit, when it was this time a little less than a year ago about the accident of the car crash and whether or not he was going to get suspended, he was like, I'm just going to let my legal team handle that. So he always hid behind it's an ongoing investigation. The league's still involved. It's a legal team. I can't talk. At least today he was like, look, it was a reality check. I made a mistake. It was difficult, obviously, to be in jail and try to rehab. I guess he said that, and this was a little bit more surprising to me. He said he did have the means and the availability to communicate with his teammates probably more than the average person who's in jail.
And trainers, he said.
Yeah, right. So that was so he got
some treatment.
Yeah, he got some peripheral treatment, I guess, as much as you can say, given the circumstances. But at the same time, too, it's like, all right, dude.
Yeah, we got to see it.
This is it. You were a professional today. I commend you on that. Let's see you be a professional day in and day out. And I would argue, and I think this is going to be difficult for the team because, again, we are led to believe that we're not going to see Patrick Mahomes Saturday or perhaps the entire preseason. I know he's coming back from a quote-unquote less major knee surgery, but it's still a surgery on your knee. I think he needs to play a decent amount of reps in the preseason so that everything's not super brand new against the Denver Broncos on September 14th. But I understand as well, if you want to strengthen that knee, if you want to get it as close to 100% as you can, you might also want to sit him for the preseason as well. So I would love to see him in the preseason because he did it last year. He actually did pretty well in the preseason last year before we, of course, knew he was going to have to serve his 6-game suspension. That's not the case this time around. Unfortunately, though, I could understand if the medical staff says he needs to not have any contact that's not under the Chiefs' sort of designed practice and not against a opponent.
Is there any fear, with him, we talk about, people coming back. We spend so much time because Mahomes is coming off the injury.
Right.
Talking about how it'll impact him physically. Rashee Rice wasn't exactly a burner before.
No, he's
like
not.
he wasn't exactly. He didn't do a great job beating man coverage.
No, he didn't.
At times last year. Now he's coming off a knee injury. I mean, is there some fear that, like, the body might make it harder for him to be as effective? I'm actually starting to think he might be more like a 900-yard guy this year, or 950, rather than the 1,200 or 1,100 he might have been pacing for in previous years based on his target load.
If you could guarantee me 900 yards from him right now, I'd take it immediately.
You take it?
I'd take it.
That's
take it immediately. I think his career high, and Drew can maybe look this up for me. I think his career high is 390 or 937, I believe. And he did leave the league, or not the
938.
league. 938, excuse me. Wow. So he had 938 as a rookie. How many touchdowns did he have, like 7?
7. 288 and 2, 571 and 5. But if his target share would suggest he's like an 1,200-yard guy if he played 17 games.
If he played 17 games, which he has not done basically since his rookie season because of all the circumstances between the injuries and the suspension. He's slowly building himself back. He did get through these last 2 practices, I thought, pretty well, right? So we are getting him into football shape comparative to his teammates. I can't necessarily see him being the one that's doing double moves and going down the field past 18 yards. I think that role is designed for Tyquan Thornton, who's probably
very good at it.
Who's probably had the strongest connection with Mahomes all training camp because he's been available all training camp. And then you still have Xavier Worthy because the Chiefs have to find out if this deep ball connection with him and Mahomes is ever going to click. It really should click in year 3. We know what Kelsey's going to provide. I actually think Kelsey might run more sophisticated downfield routes more than Worthy, more than Rice. But at the same time, I understand that Rice, his whole game is built off of being available for the quarterback, being a quick answer immediately. And,
he's good with the ball in his hands.
And not only dismantling zones, but getting yards after the catch. I think that'll be the real determination as to, like, where he is physically, is if he can get yards after the catch, because I don't really want him doing contested catches outside of the red zone, which has, I think, been an actual design part of training camp this year. Like, he doesn't really deal with much man-to-man physical contact unless they're in the red zone periods. When they're playing from a more, middle of the field or they're deep in their own territory, a lot of that is, hey, work the middle of the field, find that void in the zone, catch the ball, and get upfield. Man, if you could guarantee me 900 yards, I'd be thrilled.
Okay.
Because I just hopefully he'll have better options around him, including Cyrus Allen, to where defenses can't necessarily key on him the way they did towards the middle of last season, and it became very evident that he couldn't beat man coverage or he couldn't beat halo coverage where, hey, I know I have a safety over the top and he shaded your direction. That there are no highlights of him really busting those sort of coverages in the middle of the field or deep down the field. There was even a play I remember where Mahomes scrambled to his right. It's against Denver. It's after the bye week, and he puts the ball perfectly for Rashee Rice's hands. It's a contested catch area near the sideline, and Rashee dropped it. So at least we don't see the drops necessarily out here like we saw at significant portions of last season. But I genuinely think 800 yards gives you a chance to get yourself a contract elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it might contract-wise. I would be extremely disappointed if I'm a Chiefs fan if you tell me at the end of the year Rashee Rice has 800 yards. I would say what went wrong with. I would say what happened with this offense.
How many yards did he
say
have last year?
I understand
500 something. Yeah, 530, 550 something.
You add 6 games to it.
Yeah, I'm still very bullish on his production, and this is someone that has no interest in re-signing him, no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's 1,100-plus yard guy this year. And if that doesn't happen, then at least I guess at that point everybody will be on board with not bringing him back. Because if he has 1,100 yards, there's going to be people that are going to talk themselves into having him come back.
I want him to have a healthy 900, and what I mean by that is Kenneth Walker is going to take a lot of the burden off of Mahomes in the passing game.
And that's more to Worthy. That's more to Thornton. That's
correct.
More to, like, spread it around a little bit
Yes,
more.
and I think if you get back into like that 2022 offense, it would be nice if the Chiefs had 2 900-yard receivers. And I know that doesn't sound as sexy as a guy who explodes for 1,100, 1,300. I want to remind people the Chiefs have not had a 1,000-yard receiver since Tyreek Hill was in their uniform.
I know, it's crazy. And they've never had a 1,000-yard rusher with Mahomes.
Ever. So I would put the odds more on Kenneth Walker gaining 1,000 yards rushing than I would any of these receivers getting.
I would agree with.
yards.
I would agree with that. Yeah, if you gave me the option, I would agree with that. If I had a bet on the two, I think that's fair.
But if I can get a healthy 800 yards from Xavier Worthy, if I can get a healthy 900 yards from Rashee Rice, if I can get another, 850 from Travis Kelce, because that was basically where he was around last year, right? It was around 850, if my memory's correct. And he, by the way, he led the team in receiving kids. As long as
the leading wide receiver was. Do you know who it was? It wasn't Rashee.
Go ahead.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was a leading wide receiver on the team.
Yeah.
Nate Taylor from ESPN joining us. Earlier today we learned that Emmanuel Ogbah is back with the Chiefs. A one-year deal. Maybe you have more information on that. I feel like this got to be a nothing type of deal. They love bringing back former players. They can't help themselves. When we were talking in May about potential veteran defensive line options, at that time we mentioned Clowney, we mentioned Cam Jordan. Both of those guys have signed elsewhere, of course.
Yep.
Now it's August. I don't know who else was really left. One of the Bosa brothers maybe still out there. I don't know.
There was a bat signal to teams that needed an edge rusher. Hey, Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, I saw that video yesterday.
Back to working out. I'm just saying, guys.
I forgot Ogbah existed.
Is Ogbah coming in because they just want familiarity? Or is he coming in because they don't like what they're seeing from Felix? What do you make of this? What is this signing?
They need depth.
Okay.
And I think we're seeing a philosophical change little by little in front of us where this defense has to be front-centric. The defensive line has to be the best group of the defense this year, right?
Well, the secondary is so young.
Because you have Mansour Delane, obviously. Again, we don't know if he's even going to play in the preseason or, obviously it doesn't look like he's going to play Saturday, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a young guy there. Gilman's in his first year in the system as a safety. Chamari Connor is in the last year of his rookie contract. Jaden Hicks is only in year 2 going into year 3. Noah Williams, second-year player. You know what you got from the linebacker standpoint with Drew Tranquil and Nick Bolton, but the group that's got to win the most is that defensive line. And so if you can get a good rotation, and we've seen this over the last few years, hey, Seattle Seahawks' 9th best defensive line was better than the Chiefs' 9th best defensive lineman. How quickly can the Chiefs close that gap? They don't have a 5th defensive end before today's signing. It is a chance to kick the tires on someone that, yes, you are familiar with. And all I'm asking from Emmanuel Ogbah is, hey, man, can you give us 5 quality rushes a game?
Right? He just had a worse pass rush rate than Dana last year, and I thought Dana was one of the worst defensive linemen in the league.
We just need 5, baby. Just,
Not a lot, just 5.
We just need 5, and if there's an injury that happens, can you be professional enough to be, competent in a growing role? But right now, I think they're really pleased with Felix Anudike-Uzomah. He's actually, I think, trended upwards since camp began. R. Mason Thomas, you know what he's going to be. He's going to play a lot. You still have Asher Gelati. I guess he'll come back to practice next week after the preseason game would be my guess at this standpoint. Given it's a hamstring, you want to be cautious with that. And obviously you have George Karlaftis as your number 1 edge guy.
I want to ask you about R. Mason Thomas. We had him on the show. First, really enjoyed having him on the show. Super
one
genuine
of our favorite
dude.
guests we've had so far.
So far, one of the better interviews in all of camp.
Nice.
What was interesting was, and this maybe you can just say, hey, this is all rookies. And I'm not panicked about it. I appreciated the honesty. But he's like, sometimes I don't even know which drill I'm supposed to be going to. He's just essentially just admitting, he's like, and he said at the beginning, he's like, the most difficult part is you don't really get, there's no taking time off. He's like, You have to fight through the mental part that is, I don't want to do this today.
Yep.
But you got to do it anyway.
And
everybody can feel that about training camp, whether you're a reporter or a player. And so, but this idea of, Spags' defense is complicated and all that stuff, and he's like, I'm not sure what drill.
Where are we
is
going
this just
next?
kind of is this why Spags doesn't play rookies? Is this any different than any other rookie? Is he just being delightful and honest and all this?
I think he's being passionately delightful and honest, and I appreciate it because
I do too.
That's the way it's designed, young man. This ain't Oklahoma, right? All those drills, all those practices, get them out of here. One of the things that I still think is underrated about Andy Reid's training camp is it is designed to be up-tempo. It's designed to go from one period to the next. individual drill to 7-on-7, one-on-ones, back to 7-on-7, team, 7-on-7, back to individuals, team, long drive drill, special teams. I mean, it just goes so quickly, and then you look up and you're like, wow, that was 2 hours. You know, I think Andy loves the fact that for the rookies, it's supposed to feel like, man, everything's moving super fast. And the hope is it moves faster here than it does on Saturday. On Saturday, yes, there's going to be jitters. There's going to be excitement. You're in your first NFL game, wearing the actual jersey. But hopefully for
He said he didn't even know there was a game this weekend.
One day at a time, baby. One day at a time.
He's about getting to Wednesday.
Yeah, it's so, and I love that too, because that tells you how much they're putting on him, right?
Yeah.
They're not babying him. You're a second-round pick. We know you're going to play. We're going to invest in you quite a bit. You're going to be in there with the ones. You're going to then stay with the twos when they come on the field for 11-on-11 work. And, oh, by the way, hopefully the calls are going to be a lot more simple on Saturday, right? Andy Reid always says, hey, this is more vanilla than vanilla, right?
Yeah.
We just doing the base installs. So hopefully, based on all this other complicated stuff that Spags wants you to do on Monday that's totally different than Tuesday, and we're even adding more to it on Wednesday, hopefully by Saturday, oh, this feels slow. This doesn't feel as fast as practice. Okay, like this is just the base call. I can just show my talent. I can just show off my skill set. And I think that is the coaching staff's mindset about let's put as much on you as quickly as we can to see how you work through it all mentally and physically, so that the games don't feel like a sudden shock to the system. It actually feels like a slowed down version of what we've already tried to get you ready for these last 3 weeks in training camp.
I do think Alex and I both liked him hearing, though, because like the other thing he said a win against Josh Simmons feels like different than any other win.
Oh, of course.
They like going against Josh Simmons because when they beat him, it's like, I did something now.
Yeah. Like,
I've accomplished a feat.
Yeah.
I have beaten Josh Simmons in a rep.
It was yesterday, right? I think even the Chiefs put out the video. There was yesterday where George Karlaftis did a crazy spin move, and he finally got Josh Simmons on it. And you could tell the whole D-line was like, whoa, right?
That says something about Simmons. And
Yeah.
everybody celebrates.
Like, oh, spin move. We put him in the spin cycle. So I get it when our base is like, hey, man, I'm trying to use my speed rush. I'm trying to get around the edge. That dude's arms are so long, and then he hits me, and then they're so powerful. And I'm like, So it is funny to go from like, all right, let's bring on Khalil Benson. A little different. Little different. He's like, oh, this guy's on the same plane as I am. And then it's like, yeah, that guy could be an all-pro one day that you're going up against. So everybody loves to try new moves on Josh Simmons. I think that's something we've learned in this training camp. It's like, okay, if he's the best guy, pass protecting.
I want to see if my good move works.
Yeah, let me see if I can do this secondary. Let's see if I can working on this all off season. Like, all right, one-on-ones. It's the time for me to show it.
We got Nate Taylor from ESPN with us another couple of minutes. What do you make of Brett Veach's comments? He was on an interview with SiriusXM yesterday. We played I should say, read the quote. The part that really stood out was, I'd say in the next 7 to 8 days, talking about Mansour Delane, he'll probably get the green light to do everything. So we're excited about him. He acknowledged it was a shoulder blade injury. We've asked you multiple times throughout camp. Is there a real chance that next Wednesday or Tuesday Mansour could be wearing pads, or is this is the most optimistic outlook, and he's not going to be practicing in pads and tackling next week?
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. When the team tells you something about an injury, that is the most optimistic output or outlook about a timeline. Generally, this is not just like Chiefs specific.
This is just all teams.
This is all teams. Like, hey,
I don't think we're not seeing him in St. Joe.
If this professional athlete does everything right, even though, like, we know they're humans just like we are. But, hey, if everything goes right, if he doesn't do anything crazy, hey, he'll be out there in 7 to 8 days. 7 to 8 days. Now, he said this quote yesterday.
That would mean Tuesday or Wednesday next week. He would be available to be out of the yellow jersey. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. You get through next Thursday, then you're 1 day away from – why wouldn't you just wait till the following Monday? If you were worried about the injury, why wouldn't you just wait to the second preseason game, get through 2 more, get him out of St. Joe in a yellow jersey, and then start working where you only have to show the media 25 minutes of open practice? I don't know.
Look, fellas, I think we're all in agreement. The day I put down for myself is August 25th.
That's when you're going to start paying attention again.
Because the preseason finale is a home game against Seattle I need you to play in that game, young man.
Yeah.
I need you to play at least one game so that we can go through the procedure of, like, being in the huddle, covering somebody. Sure, that might be Seattle's third string, whatever, but, like, you know, we all know playing in a game, different than practice, right? As much as we can try to simulate these things, as much as I said earlier.
It's fascinating that he goes out there for every single defensive back call for the entire practice, even the ones he can't get.
Get them legs right? Build your base from the waist down in terms of your leg work so that obviously you're ready to go when we can say you can tackle somebody. So the date I put down for myself, and I think Chiefs fans should do it as well, is if you don't see him Saturday, totally understandable. If you don't see him the next week against the Buccaneers, I think that's, to Cody's point, safe. Just, hey, let it manage. Guys, if you gave him 7 to 8 days and it's going to heal up, what's 12 to 13 going to do? It's only going to make it better, right? And let's see you play in the final preseason game, and let's get you ready to go for the regular season. Because not only will he learn something about being in the stadium and playing in a game and, like, you know, going through that whole sort of procedural nature of it all, and obviously getting, like, hey, I would much rather you tackle Seattle's threes than not having tackled anybody, and now you got to go out and tackle, you know, Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first time, or that's your first tackle attempts, basically. So, yeah, August 25th, let's get you ready to go. I think that's the most optimistic, optimal timeline that Brett Veach gave. So it's not technically inaccurate, but it's like the probability of it is, you know, it can vary.
Nate Taylor from ESPN, he joins us after each and every practice. We always appreciate it, man. Good to see you. We'll let you get back to work there. Nate Taylor with us here on 96.5 The Fan.
Thanks, Nate.
Of course, our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. All right, Drew, let's get to them.
Camp questions.
All right, guys. I got 3 for you. You guys just talked about R. Mason Thomas. Had him on, of course. What's a good season for R. Mason Thomas? I know that we've talked before about, well, the rookies, you know, edge rushers come in, and, you know, a good season could be like a 4-sack season. But
I agree.
Based on what we're seeing, I think the hype is building a little bit more for him. It sounds like he's confident in where he's at, even though it seems like there's a lot going on. It feels like he's attacking day by day and feels like he's in a good spot with what Spags has for him. Is it 4 sacks? Is it a little bit more? What do you think would be considered a good season for R. Mason Thomas?
He's going to play a lot this year. There's no doubt about that. I think if we're narrowing it down to just pure sack numbers,
sure.
Yeah, if you said 4, I would lock that in right now. I just think we have to be realistic with rookies, especially in this system, let alone one that we know is still going to rotate with Gelati. This is not going to be he's not going to play as many snaps immediately as George Karlaftis on the opposite side. Now, by the end of the year, he might be. We'll see if he plays at a high level. I would lock in 4 in a heartbeat. But a good year, you told me he had 3.5 sacks, 3 sacks, you know, as long as he was healthy and it looked like he was also his pressure rate was pretty good and win rate, then I think I would take that, sure. We would all love to sit here and say 9 sacks, rookie year, defensive player of the year. That's probably not happening.
I would take 3.5 sacks and 50% of the snaps, and just a better pass rush win rate on the outside than any of the other dudes last year. You know, he should be higher than Aminihu and Felix, anybody who played a snap for this team last year on defense, essentially, other than Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. I'd like him to be the 4th best pass rusher on the team. Probably is the answer.
From the text line, 6 sacks. That'd be a very good season.
That would put him the 2nd best in the NFL last year.
James Pierce Jr.
He's the 40th overall pick.
What did James Pierce Jr. have last year? 10.5?
Yeah, something like that. 9.5, 10.5.
And if you go back the year prior to that, Braden Fisk of the Rams had 8.5. That was best in the league for a rookie. Chop Robinson had 6.
That's a D tackle too. Braden Fisk.
Yeah, Jared Verse, who is 4.5. Point being is, you're anything above 3 or 4, anything above 4 is an unbelievable rookie year.
There
just
were
if you look
6
at
who had 4 last year.
Yeah, and the year before that, Cody, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So is he one of the 6? Now, he was drafted in the 2nd round, right? He wasn't a 5th-round pick, but I think if you told me he had 4 sacks, we should all be thrilled, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a
fine. He gets over 6. We're talking about him having one of the better rookie years of the last 3-4 years.
Number 2 for you. So news came out yesterday that there would be a designated coach who could, along with the head coach, throw challenge flags? Is that going to be EB? Is that going to be somebody else?
I've got the
who
answer.
do you think the other designated coach will be outside of Andy to throw a challenge flag this year?
No one.
Might be Dave Tobe or nobody.
It will be nobody. It will be Andy Reid. Did you hear Andy Reid when he got asked about GoPro helmets? He's like, nah, I can see the field. I'm fine, thanks. I don't think Andy thinks he needs any help. And honestly,
a lot of coaches
I wonder
probably
which coach decided they needed this, because this feels like one of those things that you don't really need another person in on, because I don't know that I want some random coach going rogue challenging something we haven't all discussed, which is how it typically happens. But my guess is that Andy has no one. I mean, literally nobody else on the field with the flag.
Yeah, he's in communication with people upstairs on some of the stuff as well. But yeah, the only other coach he would probably even allow to do it would be Dave Tobe. Otherwise, yeah, I'm guessing Andy's going to handle it. He's already got someone in his ear telling him what they're seeing from upstairs too.
All right, and then the last one for you. Rasheed brought it up. I joked with you guys about it. It feels like it's something worth mentioning. He mentioned slightly an everybody got to eat thing. Is that coming back? Do you want to hear it? I don't want to hear anything at all whatsoever about how good this offense could look or anything like that, because we heard it all last year and it didn't look good. So I don't want to hear any of it.
I don't think they should go back to that either. Yeah, I think that needs to be in the past. You talked about moving on. That can be added to that list.
It's not even like moving on. It never got off the ground. It's a lot like Mean Girls. It's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. Everybody got to eat. Not going to work. It never got off the ground. They were all hurt or not productive immediately on a mediocre offense. Look, Alex and I killed the Grim Reaper the second they lost the following week to Cincinnati. And that one was way cooler than everybody got to eat. You got to come up with a new catchphrase. This year, the coaching staff clearly is like brick by brick or whatever. What have they been saying? New... something like that, like layer by layer. They've been saying the same catchphrase for a huge chunk of it. Anything but everybody got to eat.
In fairness, last year the Chiefs did. I mean, everybody did technically eat. They just didn't eat good.
They starving.
Yeah. I mean, they
eating
had
ramen.
The four wide receivers.
Bologna.
4 receivers had 70+ targets. I mean, 4 guys had 500+. Everybody was eating. It's just that they weren't eating that good.
Everybody got to eat Spam. It's not, it's not getting the job done, man. And look, the truth is, I think they need to be a balanced offense to be a really good one. Yeah, as in, I do think that it could be like 2 900-yard guys and a 700-yard guy or a 650-yard guy.
We don't need a nickname for the offense or for the wide receiver room until if they come back and all of a sudden by week 12 they're clearly the number one offense in football, and Rashee Rice is pacing for 1,200, and Patrick Mahomes is pacing for an MVP year, and Kenneth Walker is pacing for over 1,000. We can have a conversation there. Until then, I don't need any nicknames for this offense or anything.
All right. Those are some
stack the days,
questions.
by the way, Cody.
Stack the days.
Thank
you.
Stack the days.
I was like, there was something. They've all been saying.
I mean, grinding is the word of camp so far. I mean, every single player almost for
just on that grind.
Yeah,
just grinding. Keep
Kingsley,
stacking the days.
Cochran,
we're out here, we're just
Gray.
grinding, and just got to stack the days. That's what they preach every single day, and we're just ready
this
to.
This is our 9th stack day. How's it feel?
Yeah, we're stacking days. We're stacking days up in St. Joe. We are.
Yeah.
We are going to keep on
grinding.
stacking days. We will be up here tomorrow and Thursday as well. Up next, let's talk more about some of the quarterbacks that can change their entire legacy in 2026.
I'm a versatile GoPro.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The truth is, the summer heat can wear us all out. Look, I've been feeling drained out here, right? Maybe some of those things are a sign of low testosterone. I've told you before, but as a reminder, 1 in 4 men from age 35 to 50 has low testosterone levels, low energy level, low sex drive, motivation, and so many other things that can all be a part of low T. And at Low T Center, they can help you take a look at this so that maybe you can get back to feeling like yourself. Stop feeling like trash, and instead take hold of your health. I told you as I got older, I was like, I got to go to the doctor here. I got to take care of myself. I got to make sure everything's right. Get an annual physical. Just make things are okay. And at Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from licensed providers who specialize in TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. So you can find out what could be good for you. You could also explore a range of peptides or even get on a GLP-1 if you feel like that would be better for you. Those things are all available and all with a free T-test over at Low T Center. Low T Center has been #1 name in TRT since 2009 for a reason. Go to fixmylowt.com and schedule your free testosterone test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
At the 40, the 30, 20, 10, he's going to take it to the house. Whether you're buying a home, a car, or making another major life purchase, Main Street Credit Union helps you reach your financial goals with cashback, high yield, and student spend accounts, and certified financial counseling. Real people, real progress. Join us at mainstreetcu.org.
Hey, it's the Lawman giving you a couple updates. Just settled a case for $1.175 million on a commercial vehicle accident, $750,000 on a motorcycle accident, $557,500 on a premise liability case. Call the Lawman. If you've been charged with a felony DWI, call the Lawman. You only got a short window to get the admin filed in Missouri and in Kansas. Call me now.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It shouldn't be based solely on advertisement.
Fan Cash Fridays are here. Listen every Friday for your chance to win $100 in Fan Cash from Fanatics Sportsbook. Use Fan Cash to unlock unlimited profit boosts, exclusive merch, collectibles, and more. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 plus. See full rules on 96.5 The Fan Contest page.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale of the year is back. The Tires at Cost sale. That's right, you pay what we pay, plus mounting and balancing for only $30 per tire. Reserve yours at TELLEtire.com. Take care of your car, take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Did you know Skechers makes high-performance footwear for almost every sport you play? Here's what our athletes are saying.
Hi, I'm pro basketball player OG Anunoby. I dominate in Skechers basketball. Skechers delivers championship-level performance.
I'm WNBA star Jackie Young. Skechers keeps me quick, comfortable, and ready for anything.
And you can get high-performance Skechers and hands-free slip-ins technology. Just step in and perform.
I'm pro golfer Matt Fitzpatrick. I play in hands-free Skechers golf slip-ins.
Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or whatever high-performance sports shoes are sold.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Is there anything Albert, my AI financial assistant, can't do? Albert, can you create a financial plan just for me?
Yes. I've reviewed your accounts, income, and spending. Here's your plan and a few suggestions.
Great. Any savings I'm missing out on?
I reorganized your budget and found an extra $500 this month. Would you like me to transfer that to your savings?
Sure.
Done.
Oh, I'm thinking about moving. Can you get me more cash?
Albert can get you a loan up to $10,000 fast. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect. Looks like Albert really can do everything.
Download the Albert app and use promo code EARN to try Genius, your AI financial assistant, and get up to $10,000. Just download the Albert app and use promo code EARN to try Genius and get up to $10,000. Promo code EARN.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's hot as hell, which can only mean one thing. We're putting Cody and Gold in an outdoor tent. No water, no more snow cones. But you get to listen from an air-conditioned car or the comfort of your office. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp all summer long. Real-time updates and one-on-one player interviews. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here in St. Joe, it's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp. Drew Nixon is back in Kansas City in studio. He's got the video stream up and running if you want to watch the show, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. Also, the Jay Southland Tow Service text line is up and running, 913-586-7965. Yes, if you check the video stream, my figurine now does not have a head. It got smashed or dropped.
Decapitated.
Or whatever. People in the text line think Drew is trying to send a message to me. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's voodoo doll. I'm not sure. But all I know is my figurine no longer has a head. The head is now actually being held up by my arm.
If you wake up with neck pain, then it is voodoo doll-like.
I think so. As I said, it's still less creepy than when you had my figurine for 3 years in your apartment or in your house. That was weird. Now at least it's at the studio.
Did you have it in a box, Cody, or was it actually like set up? Because if it was set up,
no,
they're just like whatever on his mantle in his living room.
Whatever cardboard box they came in. I found one more in clearing out a basement closet for somebody else, and I need to bring it up to them here at camp.
Yeah.
They was still here, but slowly. The only two I had remaining of me are the two that you guys have there in the studio that we used on the video stream days, in which we're gone.
Yeah, so we got the video stream up and running, though. That's the most important thing. By the way, training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy it responsibly. If you missed our conversation with R. Mason Thomas, Chiefs second-round draft pick, you'll hear that again coming up around 1:35. One of our more enjoyable conversations, frankly, we've had since being up at camp. We do get an exclusive interview after each and every practice, so we'll have a different player stop by tomorrow and Thursday as well. There's no practice on Friday. Just to clear up some injury stuff today, if you're just joining us for the first time today, nothing new. I mean, Cyrus Allen at one point limped off the field, but he came back to practice. Still the same story with Mansour Delane, yellow non-contact jersey. Still no Trey Smith in pads or just walking around. He's not practicing today. Drew Tranquil's still not practicing. Omar Norman Lott still on the PUP list. So nothing new on the injury front as training camp practice continued. Today was a season ticket holder day. But let's talk about some quarterbacks. And maybe Mahomes is the answer still for you. But we were discussing earlier just about legacy-changing type of season. Let's say a quarterback in the league, whoever that is, wins the Super Bowl. There will be a quarterback that wins the Super Bowl this year.
Correct.
So
Lock it in.
I can confirm that. A quarterback will win a Super Bowl this year. Whose legacy changes the most? Because my argument, the reason why it's not Mahomes, his legacy is different than just the year-to-year narrative, right? If Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year, it shuts everybody up again. It ends this nonsense.
I think for good, though. I mean, there is a value
There'll
in
always be somebody.
Come on, 4?
I agree.
4 in 7 or 8 years. I mean, that's not enough to just shut everyone up for good forever.
I think it depends on how he looks, actually.
It's 6th Super Bowl title?
But coming off an injury, a missed playoff year, I think there's more the narrative than it is the overall legacy. Now, if he wins 2 or 3 more, then we're back in the overall legacy. He's already a Hall of Famer. We all know the number that Brady had. He's got a long ways to go. Narrative can change for Mahomes. I think legacy changes far more if you tell me a scenario this year where a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson wins it. I actually think Joe Burrow has the chance to change his legacy the most of the group of quarterbacks we talk about. Obviously, any quarterback that wins a ring this year, people will discuss them differently. Look at Sam Darnold. We don't think he's suddenly a top 5 quarterback, but Sam Darnold, nobody can ever take that ring away from him. We all now think Seattle has a very legitimate starting quarterback. But if I tell you Joe Burrow wins one, one, he means he makes the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. But all of a sudden, he
Hall of Famer,
leapsfrog. I think he leapsfrog Lamar Jackson. He leapsfrog Josh Allen in that conversation.
At least in some people's eyes, yeah. I think that Joe Burrow, like, in your fairness of the three, he probably has the most to gain because everybody already wants to crown Josh Allen. I just went through a whole offseason of it. So that'll just be like, all he'll get out of it is, see, we told you he was great and that he could play in the postseason. We won't get the, he went into another league. Lamar, you would think, would go into another league, and I can't imagine why would he be a two-time MVP award winner and a Super Bowl champion. He would have to immediately vault into the second-best quarterback of this era. And this is what sucky is. Weirdly, in the public perception, I don't think he would be called his Peyton Manning to Tom Brady, even though he should if that's how it went. If Lamar were to win it, he should be the Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes should be the Tom Brady. Not Josh Allen, not Joe Burrow, but for whatever reason, people don't want to put Lamar in that category. I think it's like 3 tiers. I think there's Mahomes that could shut everybody up. I think it's the tier you're talking about in the Lamar, Burrow, and Allen category that does clearly puts them into like a category by themselves at 2, right? Away from everyone else.
Those are the true legacy changers. Everybody else is just like, okay, we just talk about you differently.
I guess the only subgroup, and then everyone else I think kind of gets lumped in together, where people like they treat you the way they treat Sam Darnold. Even if Dak Prescott wins one, they'll treat it like Sam Darnold. Good for you, man. You had a team together and you did it. They're not going to try to call him one of the all-time great quarterbacks. They'll just say he's a really good quarterback and he won a Super Bowl. They won't try to like change his whole legacy. I think if you are Trevor Lawrence, who's picked 1-1, Caleb Williams, who was picked 1-1, or Caleb Williams, he will vault. He may be more
because
than
of his age. It'd only be year 3 in the league, right?
Trevor Lawrence will vault, and I think Justin Herbert, even though he wasn't 1-1, but the way he was heralded as a young player in this league and the way he's still talked about by NFL execs, I think they would want to shove him up into the category. Everyone else, I think it's lumped into different categories underneath it.
Yeah,
those are the ones I guess I pan out.
Yeah, I mean, I view it as like Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. If either one wins, we will discuss them differently. But I don't think either of those quarterbacks are ever going to be discussed, in my opinion, like Allen, Burrow, Lamar. Right? I don't think
they've already damaged their legacy too much.
Yeah, like we're all waiting for the ring, right? If it's ever going to come for Allen or Lamar or Burrow. When it comes to Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, they could go win a ring next year. I don't think anybody's making the case that they're automatically future Hall of Famers, that they're automatically in the conversation of being the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks of this decade. I don't think they leap there yet. Now, we fast forward to 2030 and you tell me Justin Herbert suddenly out of nowhere won 2 rings in 4 years. Okay, well, it's a completely different conversation. It seems like I can't even say that without like laughing a little bit. I just don't think that's
No, I don't either. And look, in the Trevor Lawrence and
Matthew Stafford people are bringing up, he's a Hall of Famer now already.
No matter what.
But Drew, you mentioned it earlier. All of a sudden, let Stafford get the second ring.
If he gets another, I think he's talked about as one of the 10 best quarterbacks of all time.
Ooh, all time?
There's only 13 who have 2 rings, and he would be better than at least 4 or 5 of them.
We'll all view him as more talented, Drew.
I think he's more talented than Ben Roethlisberger is.
He's a good answer. He is more talented. But he's had a better career than Ben.
I wouldn't put him over Peyton Manning, but I'll put him over Ben in that scenario.
And Peyton, I think, is considered to be top 5. So I think Stafford is absolutely inside the top 10 of all time if he wins. Someone mentioned.
So he's someone who can take a big leap.
Someone mentioned.
What about Aaron Rodgers? At this point in time,
same actually for Stafford. He'd be top 10 all time.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it's way more likely Stafford actually does it.
Correct.
Aaron Rodgers.
In this conversation because I think he has no chance.
But if Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers out of nowhere had one of his best seasons in years, and the Steelers won the Super Bowl, yes. But the chances of the Steelers getting to the Super Bowl versus the Rams, I mean,
even the Jags.
It's way less. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna agree. I was just like, it's so silly in the way that we're talking about it, but it's like, you're right. I can't even entertain this conversation, Gold, because Aaron Rodgers is not a guy that either of you and I take seriously to do it, right? No capacity?
I think
to win a Super Bowl this year?
To win a Super Bowl, no, but I think the Steelers could be a lot better than people think.
Drew and I have them much higher than you do. I think the Steelers are a 10-win football team, maybe better. I don't think they're bottoming out with Mike McCarthy at 6 or 7 wins. But I also don't think Aaron Rodgers is leading to a Super Bowl. I actually like that roster in Pittsburgh. Now, I saw today Michael Pittman, I don't know how serious he's hurt, and so is I think DK's a little banged up, so we'll see.
I will say Trevor Lawrence, every time I look at his stats, and I'm a notorious Trevor Lawrence hater, most mediocre stats of all time. He's just he's an average quarterback.
You would be sick, actually, if Trevor Lawrence won it. I think because you'd have to pay him some.
I would.
You'd be sick.
He hates Trevor Lawrence.
He's so mid. That's the thing. He's just like, we talk about him still. I think it's just like the golden boy, long hair. He's picked 1-1. He throws well. He is worse than Brock Purdy. He has not been any better than Brock Purdy.
I'll tell you this though, if I had 1 year like this year, who would I rather have my quarterback? I'd still take Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'd take Trevor Lawrence over.
I'll tell you right now, Brock Purdy's best season on paper has more yards and more touchdowns and less interceptions than Trevor Lawrence.
Brock Purdy had Kyle Shanahan at that time. At one point in time, he had a much better receiving core. He has Christian McCaffrey. He has an All-Pro, future Hall of Fame left tackle a couple years ago.
All-time defense.
Trevor Lawrence finally
was on 2 first-round picks last year.
Last year. Brock Purdy didn't play last year, basically. So if we're talking about last year, I'm talking about the whole picture. Now Trevor Lawrence has Liam Cohen, right? Brian Thomas Jr., clearly not as good as we all thought.
Yeah, his over-under is like 750, and I can't decide because I was really high on him last year. Where was Travis Etienne taken? Now I'm curious if he was a
Is he going by? Is it?
That's 3 first-round picks.
Which one is it? He's going.
Achane.
Travis Achane now, which is going to throw me off for the rest of the time.
I do think the one interesting outlier is Jalen Hurts in this, where if Jalen Hurts wins it,
then we can't keep denying these things,
I think he's a Hall of Famer then, because you guys mentioned earlier there is not a quarterback that has won 2 rings that is not in the Hall of Fame. I feel like he cements his
No, there's not a quarterback that
legacy
has
from
won
that
2
standpoint.
MVPs. Sorry, not a quarterback that has won 2 MVPs. That's not.
There's
in the
2
Hall of
Super
Fame.
Bowl winners. 2 of them aren't in, but I think they will get in, which has been Roethlisberger and
Eli Manning. Yeah,
Eli.
right.
They're not in yet, but I think
Ben's eligible for the first time this upcoming season, so I think Big Ben's getting in as well.
If we do the same conversation with Coach, it would be the same thing with Sirianni.
Hurts is just look. Obviously, at some point you stack up rings, but what does he look like this year? You know, is they got a brand new offensive coordinator? There's no AJ Brown. Does he look like he's in full control of the offense? Does it look like can they actually pass the ball down the field? It's at times the eye test. He just looks very mediocre. But I cannot argue that he gets it done when he needs to in the Super Bowl. When he's played, he's been awesome. Even the year he lost to the Chiefs,
I think that's part of his legacy.
It's just tough to for sure. It's just really when you watch him play. If I on a Sunday afternoon, if I have 2 TVs up or multi-screen, and I got Jalen Hurts playing quarterback, and then the other screen I got Joe Burrow or Lamar or Allen or Mahomes or hell, sometimes even Trevor Lawrence. You can't tell me who looks better playing the position.
It's no question.
It's not Jalen Hurts.
Isn't that a little bit of a man? So Terry Bradshaw obviously has 4. He's in the Hall of Fame. But isn't it a little bit of a Terry Bradshaw situation where you look at the stats and it's like, man, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but he's got the rings. I think Terry Bradshaw had almost as many interceptions as he did touchdowns.
It was a different era, but I get your point.
Like he had 2. Terry Bradshaw had 2. I'm looking at it now. 212 touchdowns, 210 interceptions. But that is not a Hall of Famer. But he's in the Hall of Fame because he has 4 rings. I think when you look at Jalen Hurts, your numbers-wise are going to be like, man, I don't really see a Hall of Famer. But the fact, if he does get 2 rings, I think it could jump him into that echelon of guys like Eli, who have 2 that found a way to get their way in. They're not going to be first ballot by any stretch, but they could absolutely find themselves in.
I think I'm too hard on Hurts probably sometimes because if you look it up, his regular season stats over the last 4 years are better than Trevor Lawrence's. So for everybody who's like, oh, Trevor Lawrence is the goods, Jalen Hurts is just as good as him at throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's got an immensely better roster. It's not even close.
Yes.
Not even close.
Yes. And look, I'm not saying roster's not nothing. But I mean, the guy is 57-25 in his career. He completes 65% of his passes. He doesn't throw a ton of interceptions.
I think that's part of the conversation around Bradshaw, though, too. Bradshaw was a part of those part of those Steelers teams with those defenses, and he's in. So I think I know that he won more than Jalen Hurts would have if he gets 2, but I think that's a very similar conversation of, well, look how loaded the rosters are. In the end, though, they did win, and they showed up in the big moments. So I think it definitely would influence Jalen Hurts. The one thing, too, I want to add real quick is about Lamar Jackson. I think it impacts Lamar Jackson's legacy far more than it does Josh Allen's, actually, because it would erase – because we know Josh Allen's been great in the playoffs and everything like that. Lamar has been so bad in the playoffs that if he actually went and won one, it would erase everything that he's done previously, not only just to get the ring, but that would mean that he would have played very good during the playoffs, in my opinion. It would erase the entire conversation and narrative that Lamar was great, MVP, but he stunk during the playoffs. It would get rid of all of that.
It will. It's interesting with him. I just think he doesn't get the respect he deserves with the rest of them. But
I agree with that, too.
That's just a bigger conversation. Let's get to it, Drew.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We see the comments over on YouTube now. Someone mentioned Aaron Rodgers could be there if somebody else carried the roster, not him. Over on Twitch, right, where people were talking about, some of these other guys who are possible in there. Plus, you can see Alex being headless in the video stream. But we try to stay up on those streams even if we are up at camp. Question today actually involves football in a small way, Alex. I was thinking about this a little bit because it's August 11th. We've been up at camp. We know that the Chiefs are a little over 1 month away still from actually playing a regular season game that counts for something against the Denver Broncos. What I want to know today on the random question is, what is the dollar amount for you to give up all television, streaming or otherwise, until September 14th? Somebody came to you right now, cash in hand.
Okay.
And they said, Alex, you got to give up TV. I'm taking it out of your house. You got to disable all the apps on your phone. You do not get no YouTube, just no regular video stuff. TV's gone in your life, and you got to give it up. You can still scroll Twitter or whatever if you want.
So that includes a couple college football weekends.
That includes a couple of college football weekends, all the way to the Chiefs Sunday, Monday, September 14th. That's our 15th. You got to give it up all the way till then. How much money?
I'll ignore the fact that makes my job more difficult to do. I'll ignore that for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah, because in this case, we'll get to joke on the air that you missed everything,
correct.
But you're making a lot of money.
There's definitely a dollar amount. Actually, if you gave me $5,000,
that's it.
Yep, $5,000 to not watch TV for a month. Yeah, absolutely.
What would you, that's
because I'm not missing that much right now.
Yeah, and I'll allow for, I don't know, 1 hour a week at the bar if the TV's on in the back.
Okay. Yeah, $5,000.
1 hour.
You give me
you can't be watching the whole game.
And I think I might.
With
honestly, you might be able to talk me into $1,000.
$1,000?
Yeah. Yeah. There's not much. If you told me this was November, heart of football season, college football season, or January NFL playoffs, that dollar amount's way above $10,000.
$0, $100. I would love to give up my TV, but the reality is I won't. But that's why I asked the money, because I also I watch TV at night and all that other stuff. But I have to fill this big grouping of time with, not big grouping because I'm busy, but reading or these things. I like it most at 8 p.m. until almost bedtime. That's my favorite time to be watching those things. Drew, this is for college football, so it's probably harder for you. I think I'm more like 50. I want $50 grand.
Are you out of your mind?
$1,000? I'm not giving enough for $1,000.
$50,000. All right,
maybe 10.
What?
It's 5-figure. It's not 4.
Wow. Okay.
What about you, Drew?
I'm also $5,000. If outside of the job, because obviously the podcast and everything would suffer for it. If you gave me $30,000, I would do it.
30. Okay, so he's a little bit. I can't believe you give up college football weekends of all people. I thought your price would be higher.
Everybody has a price.
He thinks we're way too high.
From right now, if you gave me a month of no college football, no NFL, no nothing like that, a month starting today, if you gave me $30,000, I would do it.
Someone says, can I play video games? I'll do the $5,000 if it's that. I think that's TV.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
Because if I'm saying you can't, in a way, I feel like
it's no video games too?
No video games?
I think that's I think that's in the spirit.
Basically, Cody said your TV cannot be on. Your television cannot be on.
You need to be outside.
Your television cannot be on. Your phone, you cannot have YouTube TV pulled up on your phone either.
Yeah, you got to go touch grass.
We outside, okay.
I mean,
for
$5,000,
we outside.
Spend a little more time at the gym for that month, whatever it may be, and then the $5,000, go buy yourself a brand new TV right after, Cody. Go buy yourself a new 85-inch TV right after.
My brother just texted me, he said $400. That is such a specific number. Why so small? Only $400?
People say they do it for $500. Yeah, I honestly think the number is even lower.
$500.
I think $1,000 would probably, you could talk me into $1,000.
$30,000 would get me debt free. So
and I've read
$30,000's an insane number.
That's
and
why
I've read more this year than I have in 20 years. I've probably read 60 books this year so far. And even that, it's I'd have to read 140.
Yeah, I agree with this person.
Sometimes there's different forms of entertainment.
I agree with this person. You give me $50,000, I'll skip the entire season. I'll just skip the whole season.
No way.
I'm surprised. If you ignore the job,
I'm
ignore the job.
You can't do this job.
I'm surprised.
Not watch a single Chiefs game.
You're fired. It better be a
let's ignore the job part. Otherwise, $50,000, absolutely.
I'm surprised that'd be it because you would be missing
$50,000, Drew.
You would be missing the entire college football season. You would miss the Super Bowl. You would miss.
So listen to it on the radio.
Jake on Twitch says $100K. Reed says no TV. I'm gonna need 75 to 125.
Cody, you can listen on the radio. I can listen to Mitch.
Cody,
yeah, that's true. You could listen to Mitch. You'd still catch the games.
So okay, that might change the amount actually.
Radio? You didn't say no radio.
Yeah, that might change the amount a little bit. I suppose.
Someone said, "Can I go to the movies?" Now everybody keeps asking more and more.
Movies. Come on.
That's
just big TV.
Yeah, you can't do.
Come on now.
So,
that's big TV.
So you would miss Endgame. You wouldn't miss it, but you would be. Oh man, no.
I do think. Do you think you'd
Drew,
like?
I haven't been in theaters since Stranger Things in December. I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man, so that's okay. I'm on this.
Do you think you would binge watch
Odyssey, I guess
stuff if you knew you were giving it up? Like if you knew you were getting ready to give it up, you got 1 week. Do you think you'd really get some TV time in? I can't imagine I would.
No, I wouldn't do any more than I normally do.
I did finish.
Someone says $50K, I can go buy season tickets and go in person.
You won't miss any games.
There you go.
You can just physically be there. You're gonna do the road trips as well. I actually just finished the three Spider-Mans with my kids.
Are you going to go see the new one with him?
Yeah, they wanted. So they were asking about the new one. I said, well, let's watch these and see if we like them. Although it's funny because I'd asked on the text line, remember, maybe a week ago, and I said, or 2 weeks ago, I said, is that movie too old for my son? It's PG-13, but Desmond's 8, but he's very mindful of bad words, even though I say them all the time. And so in the movies, they say a lot of bad words. And we were watching one scene in the most recent, No Way Home. Have you seen that one with the 3 spider?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're watching No Way Home, and Tom Holland's getting ready to hit him with the shield before he steps in, and he looked at me dead in the eye and said, I think this movie's too violent for me.
Good for him.
That's how
Good for him.
said it.
Good for him.
I was like, oh, dang.
Good for him.
Unprompted. I was like, I feel like a terrible
Someone
parent.
says they've been to jail, so it would not be hard to get used to. Is this your friend from yesterday that's out after being behind bars for 25 years?
Hard to say. I mean, but you have TV in jail. I mean, some jails.
That's what I've been told. I don't know.
Yeah,
but if that person's done it, then maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal for a month,
And they're getting paid this time.
I can't believe Drew was going to give up 3 weeks of college football. I thought his
for
number would be-
$30,000.
He said
Yes,
30 grand though, which is a
Cody.
number.
Cody, if you gave me
absolutely insane.
$30,000, I would not watch. I'd miss the first 3 weeks. It'd
What's
be
the number
tough.
for you to not watch a single college football game?
All
Just
season?
college football. You can do anything else you want. No college football at all. You love college football. No college football playoff. Action. None of it.
If you gave me $100,000,
Okay.
Oh my gosh, done.
Oh yeah, I'd do it for 100.
if you gave me $100,000, I'd miss
We're
it.
talking. I mean, there's not a sport in the world I would say, oh, I'm not going to skip out on for 3 months if you gave me $100,000.
No. Cody's saying for the whole season.
I said the whole season.
That's any sport for the.
It would be $100,000 for the whole season.
A couple months. 6.
And Alex loves the NFL, but if somebody put $50,000 in front of him and said, "You do not get to watch a single NFL game except for the Chiefs,"
Oh man, it'd be tough, but I'll take my.
but you take the $50,000.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's not even a question. I'll listen on the radio to every game instead. It'll be all right.
It would be kind of weird though. All of a sudden, you're listening to the Lions, Seahawks Thursday night football on the radio.
And the listener's correct. I can still go to a Chiefs game in person.
Yeah.
Now they have TVs there. That does, you must pretend you're not paying attention.
I mean, it's just the lack. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a lot harder than that.
Someone says, "Why are Raiders fans listening to the show?" I assume that's in reference to the jail comment. Well done, thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned during the, I don't know if they were serious or not, when we were talking about the quarterback thing just a moment ago, they said Fernando Mendoza. I was like, if Fernando Mendoza wins the Super Bowl this year, you need to build that man a statue immediately. I don't care if he still plays. If the Raiders win a Super Bowl
no rookie
this year,
quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl. If a rookie quarterback actually did it on that bad of a roster with those wide receivers,
and it was the
he would
Raiders too.
immediately
Oh,
be
Gold
vaulted
would be
into the
sick.
conversation.
Gold would be more sick than if the Bengals won it. I think actually, Fernando Mendoza led the Raiders to the Super Bowl this year and won it.
100%.
I think he'd be more sick.
100%.
Without a doubt.
It would be
10 times
just
worse.
those trashy fans. Oh, absolutely would be. Oh,
He'd hate it.
just absolute trash.
They would have to build a
Raider
statue
fans.
of Fernando immediately. He'd be up while he was still playing.
Yeah. That's the random question of the day here on Cody and Gold. All right, guys, up next, let's get back into camp things as we hear broadcasting from Mo West. Let's talk about a signing, Emmanuel Ogbah back with the Chiefs. What does that mean, and which coach could be fired first in the NFL?
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
For a limited time at Go Car Wash, mention radio and get any wash for just $5. Yep, any wash. That's up to 80% off our best wash. Visit Go Car Wash today. It's your time to go shine.
You've pictured it.
the garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 30th. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorkc.com. Overheaddoorkc.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's 5 o'clock. Your employees are headed home, but you're still updating spreadsheets, switching between software, and wondering where the day went. There's a better way. Odoo brings accounting, sales, inventory, CRM, and more together in one fully integrated platform. So you spend less time managing software and more time running your business, because your workday should end eventually. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour live in St. Joe. Chiefs training camp practice wrapped up around 11:30 or so today. We're back at it tomorrow and Thursday. If you're going to make it up to camp, stop by, say hello. We are right next to the Hy-Vee concession area. If anybody's been up here before, you know exactly where it's at. We're just to the left of there. And after practice, a player always stops by. And today it was our Mason Thomas. You'll hear our conversation we had with him, if you missed it earlier, coming up around 1:35. And our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you.
It's nice. We get people who stop by all the time and say what's up or that they like the show. Actually, earlier, I feel bad. I should have done it when we had after our Mason Thomas. There was a kid over here. He's probably like 7. And he said, what do you do? And I said, I work in radio. He's like, so you're a radio star? And I said, I wouldn't. I said, this guy would say this. I don't know that I'd say star. He said, will you give me a shout out? I said, yeah, okay, sure. His name was Jeremiah Ruiz.
All right.
And I said, is the last name important? He said, it is. So,
okay.
Wasn't messing around. Shout out Jeremiah wasn't going to work.
There you go.
Shout out Jeremiah Ruiz was. I think R. Mason went over and signed for him. So, seemed like a nice kid. He was excited. He was trying to get all the players' attentions. There's always and then there's a camp. This is one of those things, that you only know. So when we come up here, there's a real deja vu moment to it. It is the identical folding chairs, identical tables. Every sign is in the same place. Nothing moves. It is frozen in time. And when we come to training camp, the same big fake plastic rings people can take pictures next to the restricted area personnel only signs. Nothing moves. And so this portion of it always just feels so weird, Gold, because we're stuck in here. And one of the things that happens is up in this area where people can go sit in the slightly elevated area, there's a woman who comes to training camp every year.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll say,
oh, yeah.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Patrick.
That's good morning.
Hi, good morning. She'll say it to every single player who comes on the field. It's crazy.
Cody loves when that happens. Cody loves when that happens.
She says it every year.
It's your favorite.
Every year.
It's your favorite thing, isn't it?
Honestly, now it's kind of background noise. At first, it really stood out. But now that we've been coming up for as many years as we have on this show, every single year. Gold knows what I'm talking about. She's not here for every practice, but she's here every year. How about that?
Oh, multiple practices.
Yeah. She's been here 3 or 4 times this year already. Maybe more.
Look, this is a tradition for people. It's why, that they are, for fans at camp, it's one of the most open camps that you'll find in the National Football League. I think they had 17 or 18 days open to fans. They had a couple season ticket member days. Today's one of those, if I'm not mistaken, was a season ticket member day. And look, nobody's guaranteed an autograph. They make that clear, right? Nobody's promised an autograph, but there are some days that you have a better chance than others. But if you come up here, it's not a promise that you're going to get one. Someone texted in earlier saying they were really bummed out because their kids didn't get an autograph. And look, I get it. That sucks, right?
It does stink.
But there's it's tough. They can't obviously sign.
It's competitive.
They can't obviously sign 5,000 autographs or whatever. So it's always tricky. But it's the closest you're going to get to a football field. It's the closest you're going to get to the players and hear a practice. So still some time. I don't want to speak for the Chiefs. I'm assuming there's still some days you can get tickets for online on the Chiefs site. Remember, you do have to go and reserve tickets ahead of time if you want to come up to St. Joe. So we'll be out here tomorrow and Thursday, and then next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we pack our bags up and
then we'll be closer and closer. Once training camp ends, then we know we're close to real games.
Absolutely. Oh, and look, I already got alerts today, fantasy football stuff. This time of the year, I can't wait. I got fantasy football stuff starting to get together. We got Survivor Leagues. We got the Circa contest that we're going to be out in Vegas for. Bink's been hitting me up wanting to know if we're doing our station contest. Yes, the answer is yes, Bink. So I'm excited. Been offered way too many fantasy football leagues. I'm turning them down, Cody. I'm sure you've turned some down as well.
I can only handle
too many of them.
How many do you guys have?
Let's see. Well, let's see.
If we're doing one, then I have two. Otherwise, I just have one.
Well, so I have
We'll
I have a family one I've been doing since I was in like junior high. I have a high school friend one. I have another dynasty type friend slash family one. I have a guillotine league one for my betting group. We're gonna do a station or Cody and Gold one, unofficial.
Unofficial.
So 5, then Survivor. So probably 6 or 7.
Cody, I did. Somebody on the text line appreciated your impersonation of that woman. It sounded like when you were
Was Binkley
calling
there?
in for Binkley.
Is this Jay Binkley? It was a little more. Hers is a little raspier.
Yeah, it's definitely not as high pitched
yeah.
as Jay Binkley.
Someone said you were jealous that she didn't scream "Hi, Cody."
Yeah,
she was shouting at the
that's
players
fine.
instead.
I'm just it's just one of those things that like I know I'm at training camp when it's one of those things that happens.
And you look forward to it.
So tomorrow we got to do at least one player eliminate, maybe a double elimination.
Oh, Camp Darling.
For Camp Darling Island. Remind me, is Xavier Lloyd still alive?
No, he's been.
Did he get eliminated?
He's been eliminated.
He's been.
Caldwell got eliminated. Xavier Lloyd got eliminated. I'm down to just Cyrus Allen.
I think basically we're probably eliminating Jalen Royals tomorrow.
Okay. I saw Xavier Lloyd made the Chiefs' social media account today, so I didn't know. He would have been safe.
Could he be back though?
He's not making.
No, he's not. But he would have been safe
All right.
for at least one more day. So we'll keep an eye out on that as well.
Somebody that we'll start seeing out here though is Emmanuel Ogbah, who was part of the 2020 Super Bowl team, who is still in the league and has had a rough go the last couple years in the league. And be honest, most of you probably forgot about the name. Emmanuel Ogbah's back with the Chiefs. Steve Spagnuolo kind of was – it's not official, so he was like, hey, if he comes back, then it's good to see E, whatever. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what he said.
Yeah.
I asked Nate if that meant anything about Felix. He said no. He thinks it's just plain and simple, depth move, bring a vet in. I will be keeping an eye, though, on the snap count, though. But based on Emmanuel Ogbah's performance, he was one of the worst in pass rush win rate.
In the league.
Pass rush win rate in the last year or two in football. So it would say a lot if he's stealing snaps from anybody of significance.
He was worse than Dana last year. He was worse than Amenihu last year. He was twice as bad as Amenihu last year in win rate. So I want you to keep that in mind as two guys who we have openly criticized, and I think rightfully so, for not getting to the quarterback in any sense. So remember earlier when we said, hey, the Chiefs have a move, and it's to bring veterans back. People who've been with the team, that is just what they do. This is my fear over Nate just saying, it's just a depth move. That's what I felt about Mike Edwards. That's how I felt about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't play a lot last year, but he was still getting carries over Brashard Smith at some point. And so my problem with a guy like Ogbah, even though I like the depth and I'd be interested in it, is the second a veteran steps foot in the field, even of his level, even as a guy who's not successful, he immediately, and I know this for a fact based on history, steals snaps from younger, less experienced players. Maybe guys like R. Mason, maybe guys like Felix even. People who I would prefer to probably get the snaps because when push comes to shove and they're not sure how things are going and they're already going to have to be young in so many areas of the defense with no choice, that being the secondary, that being, parts of the defensive line, the part of me thinks they'll want to play Ogbah just to make sure that they got some veteran playing somewhere. And so it's hard for me to just say, Ogbah's just a depth move. He'll just be around to, practice and get reps. I think he'll probably play more than that. That's the truth. Maybe not 700 snaps, and I hope it's not that, but I think he'll play more than that.
Look, Felix is having a good camp. I still think if you told me that they were really confident in Felix and really confident in every other piece, then you're not bringing in Emmanuel Ogbah. It tells me that early on in the season, maybe some of the younger guys are going to play less than we all like.
Yeah, you'd like a little more coverage. And here's the thing. I don't think it means that FAU's not making the team now. You don't think that, right? You just think it might be that they want coverage in case.
Yeah, no, FAU's had a very good camp.
Yes. And I guess that's the part of the reason we thought they need a defensive line help. Maybe it says more about Omar Norman-Lott. And that they're just going to pup list him, and he's not going to be available for 6 weeks. And they need a body that they can cleanly cut.
Yeah, we don't know if Norman-Lott's going to be ready for the season or he's going to start the year he's already on the pup list. They can remove him before the year, but maybe there is a chance he misses the first 6 weeks or whatever it is of the season. I also think this just continues the trend. This organization, coaching staff and front office, very comfortable bringing back pieces of the past. L'Jarius Sneed is back. We'll see how that plays out. He can't, his knee clearly is still giving him problems and is always going to give him problems. So I don't put a whole lot of stock in that unofficial depth chart that we talked about earlier that came out where Sneed was the starting corner. Remember, Mansour Lane was listed as a backup. essentially corner. We all know,
it's not true.
whenever he's ready to go, he'll be the number one corner. He was even behind Noel Williams on the list. We know that's obviously not true.
Correct.
They've had a mixed bag on bringing guys back. Kareem Hunt, when they brought him back the second time, it was a success. Even if the team as a whole wasn't successful, he was a success when he came back. That worked out. L'Jarius Sneed, I'm very skeptical if it's going to work out. Tyreek Hill, we'll see if he ends up being brought back midseason. But there's been pieces over the years that they have felt comfortable bringing back. Recent history, not as good.
No, it worked all the time until it didn't. Last year, pretty much everyone failed, right? Hollywood, Minihue, Dana, bringing everyone back stunk. Was there anybody like?
And Hollywood,
Kareem was the closest.
I don't even count Hollywood. That's just re-signing somebody. I'm talking about somebody that you had him on the team, and came back. Juju, his second stint with the team, I think it actually worked out. He wasn't great, but he served a purpose. He served a role. But guys like Derek Nottie. Derek Nottie, that was obviously a whiff on bringing him back, to say the least. Mike Dana last year, did Mike Dana ever leave, or was he just a re-sign? So there's a difference between.
No, he left. Oh, no.
He never signed with anybody else.
No, you're right.
So there's a difference there.
I'm like what we talked about earlier. I just don't understand why. I know that money's a little bit different, but is the fact that he played for this team however many years ago that big of a difference that he ranked dead last or one of the worst that you guys said in almost every category? You wouldn't. There's nobody else who you'd bring in from any other team just because the guy played for you, even though he was not good compared to everybody else.
I think it's the August 11th part of that, Drew. They want somebody to get up to speed fast.
He knows the system a little bit.
On June 1st, I agree with you. On April 1st.
Oh, back in May when Clowney hadn't signed? Absolutely. Yeah. Back in May when Cam Jordan hadn't picked to re-sign with the Saints, we were all talking about
Is the system that hard, though, to understand? Is it really that hard to understand?
It's trust.
I think
it's a trust thing, too, Drew.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm with you. If your argument is that, hey, would I rather have had Jadeveon Clowney? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Whether it was financials or just whatever, they had every opportunity to sign Clowney. They chose not to. Now, Cam Jordan, I think as time went on, he was never signing anywhere but the Saints. We didn't know that at the time. But he said he wanted to shop around, but I think he realized he liked staying in New Orleans. And so Cam Jordan did sign anywhere, so I don't discount or knock the Chiefs for not getting Cam Jordan here. He signed back with the Saints. Clowney's a little different. Or who was the other name? At one point,
Campbell.
Not Nick Bosa, but Joey Bosa was out there at one point in time. Maybe that
I think Joey Bosa is still out there.
Who else? Drew, was the other name?
Calais Campbell was another one.
Yeah, Calais Campbell, and he signed with the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken.
There were a lot of defensive linemen we brought up. Since we're talking about like trades and signing and stuff, can I ask a question? Can I bring up a question Benjamin Solak asked on Twitter? Based on the news earlier today. So we found out earlier today Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback for the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Not surprising. You and I thought it would be that from the beginning. And then they tried to convince a bunch of people that it was a real quarterback competition. By the way, real quarterback competitions don't end on August 11th. Right. Fake quarterback competitions do, not real ones. He said if you're a team with an aging starting quarterback, Steelers, Rams, who just signed a first-round quarterback, so probably not him, Jets, how much would you offer in a trade right now for J.J. McCarthy just to see? Let's add the Browns into
Fifth round pick.
If you're the Browns and you're like, I got to start Shadur, would I rather just start J.J.?
I think J.J. McCarthy stinks, so a fifth-round pick is as good as you're getting. I think he stinks.
I would not trade. I don't think I would give up anything for J.J. McCarthy.
Like if you're the Cardinals, what's the risk? Screw starting Jacoby Brissett.
They've already got Carson back. They don't need J.J. McCarthy.
Maybe because they got back. Maybe that's the answer. But everybody doesn't. Are you not better off just seeing on J.J. McCarthy than some of these other ones?
It would have to be a conditional fifth-round pick.
How many teams does it actually make sense for?
I honestly don't think there's any team that makes any sense. I just wouldn't have him.
I'm looking through the list now.
I just
wouldn't
Colts,
bring him
just
in case Daniel Jones isn't available.
They got Riley Leonard for that.
The Colts are already trying.
Riley Leonard stinks though.
The Colts are already trying to showcase
the Texans last year.
The Colts are already trying to showcase Anthony Richardson on Thursday to trade him. They're not going to go trade for J.J. McCarthy. They're trying to trade Anthony Richardson
for their own failed guy. I'm just looking through the list.
What do they just
Is
swap?
There a team that makes
they just
sense?
swap. The Vikings get Richardson. The Colts get McCarthy. Boom.
Riley Leonard last year, Cody, had 270 yards for 2 touchdowns and 1 pick against Houston. He scored 30 points against Houston's defense last year. J.J. McCarthy cannot do that.
J.J. McCarthy had a game like that. You came and gushed on the air about it. He definitely had a game like that.
Against who? The Texans were the best defense in the league last year.
I don't remember.
I
will say, if I'm the Jets,
Riley Leonard is better than J.J. McCarthy already.
In fairness, you should probably just take a first-round pick in next year's draft.
Yes.
But if right now the Minnesota Vikings, if I'm the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings take a 6th-round pick for J.J. McCarthy, and I can find out if there's just some, or if I'm the Bucks and I want to take a 6th-round pick on J.J. McCarthy and just get him in the building and find out if I can let Baker go and not pay him, I'd probably kick it around.
They can trade J.J. McCarthy to the Saskatchewan Roughriders for, I don't know, a punt returner or something like that and have him come over.
Returner.
All right.
That'd be interesting. An interleague trade.
No, McCarthy, I think McCarthy
I think
stinks.
he stinks too.
Yeah, I think
Gold, you might remember. I called him a bust after like 8 games. I had said I called him before he'd even barely started because the second that they started trying to sign every single veteran quarterback who was ever available 2 years ago, I'm like, oh, they think he stinks.
Someone says, would I rather have McCarthy or Zach Wilson? Well, I mean, who cares? But I mean, I guess McCarthy just because he's younger. So there's the 5% chance.
That is a heck of a question.
Zach Wilson's just a backup in this league. That's all he is. He's a backup for the Saints now.
J.J. McCarthy's going the Josh Rosen path. He started 10 games in the NFL, and he'll start a handful for somebody else as a backup, and that's just kind of all she wrote.
How long did Josh Rosen last in the league, period?
Honestly, it's like who should do it? Believe it or not even to start him. If they'll take a trade for him, the 49ers should give up a 7th and just groom him to be Mac Jones' replacement when he's eventually gone.
Yeah, 3 years, Drew, by the way, on Josh Rosen. Yeah, the Niners have had a good track record of it, but, I mean, McCarthy's done in Minnesota clearly. So,
Someone suggested the Chargers to go back with Harbaugh.
Well, yeah, I get the connection, but why? Herbert's not going to. You know what I mean? Like, why?
This is a backup. I'm not trading picks for a backup.
I don't trust McCarthy. If you're a potential playoff team like the Chargers and you need a spot start, do you trust J.J. McCarthy or do you trust a vet?
I'd rather send the Bengals whatever for Joe Flacco.
For sure.
I guess, but they've been starting Easton Stick as their backup. So, I don't know if J.J. McCarthy's much worse than that.
I don't think J.J.'s a starter. I don't think you give up anything. I wouldn't even give up a 7th-round pick for J.J. McCarthy. It's not happening.
I'd give up a 7.
Trey Lance, the backup in L.A. already with the Chargers. Not that
I wouldn't do it.
Record, but
Easton Stick made 4 starts for that team.
Yeah, Easton Stick's not even on that team anymore.
No,
from North Dakota State.
He did make 4 starts.
The quarterback room in L.A. Justin Herbert, Trey Lance, and then the former Clemson, former Oregon, former whoever school DJ. I can't pronounce his name.
Uiagalelei.
Sure,
but in fairness, J.J. McCarthy's no different than having Trey Lance as your backup. How many starts did Trey Lance make? He make 10. He make any more than J.J.
No,
McCarthy?
But he's been in your system already.
Yeah, I would keep Trey Lance.
To answer your question, Trey Lance only started 16 games.
I think do you know how hard it is to get just a good starting quarterback? There are a lot of bad backup quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy's worth a flyer on the maybe he's slightly better than the worst of the backup quarterbacks. There's so many bad backup quarterbacks.
I know, but the issue for him is, you know how this goes. The backup, there's always the hope. You haven't seen him play. We've seen enough, even if it's small, it's still enough of McCarthy to think he just sucks.
Yeah.
And people can always cite, well, what about Sam Darnold? Not even close to the same level of crappiness. Not even close. It may feel like that Sam Darnold was just as bad. No. Sam Darnold, even with the Jets, was still much better other than the fourth quarter comeback drive from McCarthy. It's not even close. It's not the same as you can't even say, oh, what about Geno? Geno was still better his first 2 years or whatever it was with the Jets than J.J. McCarthy ever was for the Vikings 10-game stretch he had.
J.J.'s best game last year was against the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Kevin O'Connell.
Of course it was.
Kevin O'Connell, who got 9 wins with Max Brosmer or whatever last year, couldn't get it worked out with J.J. McCarthy. That's all I need to know.
That's a pretty bad sign. Look, I thought he'd stunk for a long time.
I didn't realize
But you out here said he wouldn't give up a 7th.
No.
I've seen teams give up a 7th for a third-string guard.
Okay, well, then if we're doing this game, is anybody giving up anything for Anthony Richardson? Because the Colts are showcasing him Thursday, hoping they can trade him for a late draft pick.
God,
if you're trading for a backup, absolutely not. I'm not giving up anything for a backup quarterback. It's not happening. I'd rather draft one in the 5th round.
For Richardson at all.
I would not trade a single solitary thing either.
I'm out on Richardson. The minute he pulled himself out of a game mid-drive because he was tired, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out on Anthony Richardson. He also has played 17 games in the league, just as many as Trey Lance.
His 2 best yardage games last year, J.J. McCarthy, were against Dallas and Baltimore. The 2 worst passing defenses in the NFL. Yeah. The only ones he could get anything going against. He scored 6 points and only completed 11 passes against the Falcons last year in a 22-6 loss. Ooh, he stinks. He's bad.
He might actually be better than Anthony Richardson, just based on numbers, in all honesty, or they're very similar.
The problem with Anthony Richardson is, like what Gold said, it's not just that he stinks, but he also just quit on a play, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's a major problem.
Yeah.
It's a major problem if you're bringing him into your organization.
No one's giving anything up for Anthony Richardson ever. I mean, genuinely ever.
They shouldn't.
I'm not even sure why they brought him back. Sometimes, like, proving a point. What, you're just trying to get your signing bonus money out of there? Bad organizations hold hostage players that mean nothing to the rest of the league. Anthony Richardson would have a hard time getting a job if you cut him.
I mean, it's probably Chris Ballard trying to hold on to the fact that he picked him 4th overall, however long ago it was. Just hanging on for dear life.
I just don't understand. Bad organizations.
Someone says, don't forget the Chiefs traded a late-round pick for Justin Fields. Yeah, Fields still always looked – again, even though we think Fields wasn't a good starter, he still looked a million times better than J.J. McCarthy ever did or Anthony Richardson ever did.
That's also Drew saying he'd never trade for a backup. I said I would.
No, the text line was just saying, like the reference of like the Chiefs traded a late-round pick for Fields.
Yeah, and I depending on
But Fields, again, is so much better than J.J. McCarthy. It's not close. Not close.
It's also, you would think, an upgrade from Chris Oladokin as the backup.
No question. Well, really, and you're really talking about what is an upgrade from Gardner Minshew, because that was technically.
Right.
I know he got hurt and it ended up being Oladokin or whatever, but we'll see. Plenty of Garrett Nussmeier and Justin Fields on Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. It's just interesting. He asked the question. I just thought it was interesting.
Some broadcasting news. We've been talking a lot about that the last week or so with the Tony Romo issue and how he's on leave and J.J. Watts with Nance. And yesterday we discussed Herb Street and Aikman and Greg Olsen all with their contracts expiring and how I think, they should try to move Olsen to Amazon Prime next year. Well, CBS just announced that friend of the show, Ross Tucker, will work with Ian Eagle now.
Oh, nice.
While J.J. Watt shifts to the number one crew with Jim Nance and Romo's absence. So Ross had already done NFL games for CBS, but he wasn't on the I quote unquote the full time every week crew, or if he was, I think he was doing a lot of the Titans games.
And then he did a lot of radio stuff.
And a lot of radio stuff for Westwood One. And now I would have to talk to Ross. That seems like a promotion to me. He gets to work with Ian Eagle. Hopefully he'll still come on the show.
I was about to say, Drew, you got to reach out now. Let's try to get him on before it's too late.
Yeah.
Let's get him on for one preseason chat so we can tell him congratulations on the move up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we promise not to ask him about how he might have been moving up because I will say,
we'll ask
the
about
second
the
you
wedding
start
he was
making,
at this summer.
Yeah, the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift
wedding.
wedding.
Do you think he gives up more than Noah Gray did?
Yes, he'll at least say more than Noah Gray did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
See if Ross will come on later this week or early next week or something. We love having Ross on, and congrats to him. I will say, the second they start making secondary moves, makes it feel like Romo.
But you have to make a secondary move. You lost J.J. Watt on that team with the Ian Eagle. Somebody has to get bumped up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But doesn't that feel like
it does
Romo's
give
in
off
real trouble?
Yeah, it does give off that vibe.
So we'll see.
That coupled along with the fact that they already didn't like that he wasn't studying as much or whatever the case was last year.
Yeah, I think we're going to find out how much they really want to get out of that Romo contract, and it feels like this might be their way to get out of it. Some other NFL news. We were just talking about Cam Jordan, re-signing with the Saints a couple months ago. Adam Schefter says Cam Jordan could potentially miss the start of the season with a hamstring injury, according to Kellen Moore.
The trouble with bringing in aging, the Bills probably have learned this lesson harder than anybody. When you bring in a 30-plus-year-old defensive end, turns out, they can get hurt because their bodies start to fail them. Like, it can't be your primary pass rush plan, which is why we liked Cam Jordan as like a secondary piece, not the main piece, I guess, in there. Make you feel better about skipping him?
Not yet. No, because Cam Jordan's not missing like 5 weeks or anything. Let's see what Cam Jordan does before it's early to say it was the right decision not to try to bring him in. And look, other teams probably did try to bring him in, but it's too early to make that determination, I think. Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll talk about perhaps some coaches that could be on the way out, and you'll hear our conversation with Chiefs rookie defensive end, R. Mason Thomas.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
We are up here at training camp, so before the season even kicks off, everyone is making prediction. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. We've gone over the West and a couple of others. Let's go to a competitive division, the NFC South. Right now, everyone trading at above 21%. The Tampa Bay, 31%. New Orleans, 30%. Carolina, 23%. And how about Atlanta? As a sleeper trading at just 21%, a $100 trade could see $473 in return if you think they're going to flip things around there in Atlanta. And all of that is available over on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft, pick the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app today and get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel.
Let's go! One team, one goal!
Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
One contractor, all things parking lot. That's who they are over at Gann Asphalt and Concrete, a locally owned and operated company who is ready to take on that project for you, whether it be commercial paving services, asphalt services, or any large-scale project. The first thing a client sees about your business is the parking lot, and Gann Asphalt and Concrete is ready to make sure it gives the right first impression. Trust a locally owned and operated company who is ready to do that work for you. Give them a call, 816-688-3512, or check them out at GannAsphalt.com.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear. It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue.
we have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number 1 on What's Trending, we continue broadcasting live in St. Joe, side of Chiefs training camp. We'll be back up here tomorrow and Thursday. You'll hear our conversation with R. Mason Thomas in just a couple minutes. He joined us exclusively after practice. Notes from practice today, one of the headlines was just that a new veteran is on his way, Emmanuel Ogbah. Former Chief is now to rejoin the Chiefs and join that defensive line. Steve Spagnuolo said he welcomes, of course, E, as he called him, back to the Chiefs if, in fact, he becomes part of their group. Rashid Rice also spoke to the media for the first time since November. He was asked, of course, about his time in jail. He said, quote, "It was a reality check. It's in the past. I'm focused on the future." Injury-wise, same story, guys, from camp. Although Cyrus Allen at one point limped off, he did return. Still no Drew Tranquil. He's not practicing. Trey Smith not practicing. Delane still in the yellow non-contact jersey. Omar Norman Lott still on the PUP list.
Next up on What's Trending, it's official. The Minnesota Vikings have named Kyler Murray their starting quarterback for Week 1. Not surprising, I think, to most people. They were trying to make it seem like there was a little bit of a quarterback competition. Reports are Kyler Murray hasn't blown the doors off, but as you know, they were done with J.J. McCarthy. They didn't want to start him last year at times for Kevin O'Connell, and so he's done. The J.J. McCarthy era, after being a first-round pick and starting only 10 games for Minnesota, has officially lost his job. That's going to go down as, genuinely, if he never starts another game for the Vikings, it's going to be like Josh Rosen. It's going to be one of the worst first-round picks ever. Anytime you take a quarterback and they don't even make a full season's worth of games starts for you, that's bad. But Kyler Murray will have a chance with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They got talent on that Minnesota offense, so we'll see if he can take advantage.
The NBA released its Christmas Day schedule today, as expected, headlined by LeBron James and the 76ers going out to L.A. on Christmas Day. Here's the full slate, and remember, there's NFL games this day as well. It is an unbelievable day of sports, but it starts at noon Eastern with the Spurs and Knicks, then it's the Heat and Celtics, then it's the Sixers and Lakers, then in the evening it'll be OKC against Minnesota, and the late game will be the Denver Nuggets taking on the Golden State Warriors. So a couple got the finals rematch, right? Spurs and Knicks to kick off Christmas Day.
You see, you said they did their opener too. They're doing a triple header. They're doing an afternoon game. There's a game that tips off like right after the show.
Really?
On opening night. Yeah.
Interesting.
Boston and Detroit, and then it's Sixers, Knicks, and Thunder, Spurs.
As a reminder, the Christmas Day slate, sorry, I was going to tell you, for the NFL, is Packers, Bears, Bills, Broncos, and Rams, Seahawks.
Mixed in there with the NBA. Going to be a heck of a day on the sports calendar as well. Obviously, mixed feelings about it taking up the entire day, but it is, if we're going to have games, might as well be good games. Might as well be good matchups. It looks like on paper we have that. No, I was just going to say, when does the full schedule come out? I'm trying to map out my LeBron tour. I need to go see LeBron for the first time.
I think this week.
Okay.
This week or next.
I need to map out I need like 4 dates to kind of map out and pick one of those and see what's realistic in terms of travel.
In the next week, it should be out, I think.
OKC, Minneapolis, Chicago. There's plenty of cities. Denver's plenty of ones to choose from.
Absolutely.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals did drop to the Dodgers late. Cags hit a 2-run shot off of Tarek Skubal in the match. They had the advantage in the game for a while. Bullpen blew it late. Royals, another late game tonight. First pitch a little after 9 o'clock. Vern's on deck show at 8. It'll be Michael Waka on the mound. As a reminder, by the way, because there's a Chiefs preseason game on Saturday, the Royals will actually be on 6:10 a.m. On that game. That'll happen a couple of times the rest of the way as the Royals season wraps up and the Chiefs start playing some regular season football games.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Earlier today, our Mason Thomas joined us on the show right after practice. We asked him initially just about Steve Spagnuolo and a lot of the similarities between him and his college coach at OU, Brent Venables.
It's crazy how I got drafted to a similar system. Yeah, playing for a guy like Coach Spags, knows a lot, been around the game a lot, so you could take something from him every day.
When you look at, I guess, a guy like Spags and Venables, do you like that coaching style? Do you feel like, all right, lucky, got the same guy that I had before?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not as a freshman coming in, but now, yes, like knowing how he coaches, how he responds to certain things, how you should respond to the things he gives to you. Yeah, it gets a little easier.
What's been the biggest adjustment, like you mentioned, like high school, then you're a freshman in college? What's been the maybe surprise adjustment or biggest adjustment for you from college player to NFL player?
College player to NFL, you have to be more detailed. Like, how do I put this? What you do is not enough. It's never going to be enough. But you can always get better at something. And it's like it's really the small things. When people say, like, your alignment, your step, that's the type of stuff that helps you make a play or you miss a play. Like, the inches matter. And that's something that I think I'm starting to progress in even more. Even since college, I thought I had it all down packed in college, and then you come here and it's like you're starting all over like a freshman again. So I think it's those small details that you have to really be key on.
You spoke the other day, and it sounds like you really enjoy, like, truly being like the cliche, student of the game. It seems like you really like studying up just the sport. What has that always been your thing, or is that more just, as you were just saying, you got to always improve your craft?
Yeah, I think it's always trying to improve things. It's not fun for sure. Like sometimes I don't feel like watching film. Sometimes I don't feel like getting coached. That's the realness of it. Sometimes the truth doesn't always feel good, but it's necessary for your growth. So sometimes when you think you're getting in a down mood or anything like that, you just look back at days like these where, it could have been worse or, something else could happen, but you can control your response. Like, either you're going to watch film or you're going to go to bed on time, or just little things like that. Like, that's what kind of makes it break. And I started to develop that. I haven't been like that, but I started to develop that in college for sure.
When you get into an NFL team, you immediately start looking for people to talk with. Do you just go straight to the OU guys? You go to Winchester and Creed, or do you find other young players? How do you go about finding your group, I guess?
No, I definitely went to the OU. Wanye, Winchester, Creed. Yeah, I definitely went to them. And then Ethan Downs, and then then I went to my draft class. Everybody in there, like Peter Woods, Mac, BJ. I went to those guys for sure. I hang out with them all the time because now that you think, it's like the older guys are really 30-something.
Easy, I'm in my 40s.
You can relate to the younger guys more than you're saying.
Yeah, right. Some jokes aren't funny when it's Chris Jones. It's like I don't know if that's going to work on them, so I just let me go over there and make that joke.
Who's the funny? Okay, now you got me wondering who out of the draft class then the younger guys on the team. Who's the funniest guy? Is that you?
Dunny. No, I'm not funny. It's Dunny. He is just he's a character. It's hard to explain. You have to get him on an interview because
all right.
What his responses, his whole demeanor is just funny. We just call him Dunny. I don't even know his first name. That's bad. I know his last name is.
I'll be honest. I don't know who you're talking about.
94 D-line. UDFA.
Okay.
I want to say Vincent Dunn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you said Dunny. I'm like, okay. Sure.
Yeah, we call him Dunny. Yeah. Right. Now that I think about it, I only know his nickname. I don't even know his first name.
Okay.
But 94. You have to get him. But he's hilarious. It's like he can make you laugh whenever.
We got
Anthony Dunn.
Okay.
Anthony Dunn.
Makes sense that his last name's Dunn.
That makes sense. We got R. Mason Thomas hanging out with us here on 96.5 The Fan. So what do you do for fun outside of football, though? Whether it's with maybe it is with your teammates, but even in the dorms here, what's your escape, I guess, from football a little bit? Do you have one?
Right now, nothing. It's wake up, come out here, go to bed, about football, wake up, come out here, go to bed, football. What is it? I don't want to know what day it is, to be honest. It's probably like day 17 of fall camp.
Sounds about right. You made
it.
It's August 11th. You know, you got your first preseason game, though, coming up on Saturday.
To be honest, I didn't even know we had that, too. I feel like it just – I don't even know what's going on half the time.
It all blends together.
Yeah. Sometimes they blow the whistle. I don't know which field to go to. I don't know what drill we're doing sometimes. I just feel like I'm lost sometimes.
I was saying, is it slowing down at all, though, for you?
Yeah, it's definitely getting better, getting used to the schedule, getting used to, like, your body's trying to find a routine, and I think my body's starting to catch on a little bit.
Who on the defensive line is impressing you most? You mentioned Chris Jones, Peter Woods, a fellow rookie with you.
Yeah.
Like, when you get up against some of these other guys, it's like everyone was the best player on their college team.
Yeah.
What stands out, I guess, in the early going from some of your other teammates?
Yeah, definitely Josh Simmons. He's definitely a guy that I always want to go against. And, you know, like the one-on-ones or the teams, sometimes I want to go over to the side, but I know I can't do that all the time. Coach tells somebody else to go. But, yeah, he's a guy that, like, that really gets competition out of me, out of a lot of the D-line. And I know out of, like, you know, what am I trying to say?
Seems like George and Chris and some of these other guys challenge themselves against him.
Like Josh, yeah. He's definitely somebody you want to beat. That's what I'm trying to – you want to beat – it makes you feel good when you beat him.
Yeah. Getting a win against him counts.
That really counts, yeah.
We got R. Mason Thomas with us here on 96.5 The Fan. We were doing a little research before you came on the show. You were a lifeguard once? Is that right?
Yeah.
When was this? What's the background there?
So my mom always puts us in swimming lessons when we were younger, like 4 years old. Used to hate the water. It always used to be cold. Temperature never used to be right. Then she was like – she kind of – groomed us into being a lifeguard because we always went swimming lessons. The pool was always fun. And she's like, well, you can make this your summer job when you're not doing sports. So we all, well, not we all, just me and my older sister became lifeguards. And then we started working there over the summer and everything like that. So that was my first job ever, was a lifeguard at 16. Yeah.
Someone, I think in the interview it said, after the playing days, maybe you'll go back to it?
Maybe.
Is that something you'd still do?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would. I'd probably be a lot lighter because I know I can't float right now. I'm 250. So, I mean, swimming was definitely easier when you were lighter, like 185 pounds. Like, I think I was swimming faster at 14 than at 21. And so I think I'm going to slim up a little bit, you know, probably be like 220. So maybe I'll go back into the aquatic life, something like that.
Okay, that's not a bad way to go about it.
Before we let you go, so I don't know, have you ever opened sports cards before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so our friends over at the Art of Sports gave us some Topps Chrome packs. I'll have you open these. Let's see. We're still looking for an auto, okay?
Yeah.
We haven't got any autographs yet. We've only gotten one Chiefs player, so let's see what you open up. Maybe you're the lucky charm here. So
maybe I need to pray first. All right,
what we got?
Devontae Smith. That's a good pull.
We're looking for autos. We're looking for numbers. We're looking for colored cards. What's that? There was one other behind that.
Behind that?
You're good, Cedric Tillman. All right, let's see what the next pack. That pack was just base cards, what they call base cards. So
okay.
Let's see if we got any numbers or autos in this next pack.
So the rare ones are the.
You want like the ones that are different colors or numbers or auto. So it looks like those are all base as well.
Dang.
Cody, anything?
I didn't look, but at least there's out there some colors, so let's have a look at those.
Maybe better chance on that last pack. Let's see what we got.
Let's see.
Okay, this is right. This is good.
Marion Hampton's
a rookie card.
Division foe, and then what is that? Felton. Rookie card. All right.
Rookie card.
Our best pull so far,
Medium.
we had Jalen Hurts numbered card we got at one point. With one, I can't remember which player pulled that, but we're still looking for an auto.
Yeah.
Will we get your rookie cards here in a couple months or something? Have you signed any cards before, like through Panini or Topps or anybody?
Yeah, I have. Hopefully, yeah, we can get something like that.
There you go. So that was R. Mason Thomas with us earlier today, Chiefs rookie defensive end, second-round pick out of Oklahoma. Enjoyed talking with him. Probably the most just authentic interview we've had so far of training camp. Just being very honest about, hey, he's things are slowing down, but like he's just like, hey, just get me through this day, get me to the next day. I'm focused on this, not worried about what's happening a week from now.
Not worried about a game on Saturday, just trying to.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been moments where he's been impressive up here. I do think, based off of the track record with Spags, I think it's going to take some time before he's trusted to play a huge bit of the snaps. I think it's more likely Peter Woods plays a ton of snaps early than it is R. Mason Thomas. And that's not saying R. Mason Thomas is not going to play.
I just think he'll be rotational at first.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he's the 40th overall pick, and he has expectation. And he is a little bit like George Karlaftis, where he might win some matches where he just doesn't give up. He is a known high motor guy, so I think that there's something to that. But I found his honesty refreshing. The idea of, like, sometimes I don't even know what drill I'm supposed to be doing, because it is a lot to take in. You're all of a sudden here, and now it's a game week, and they start doing even base installs to try to get you ready for what that looks like in a week-to-week process. And I don't know, he just seemed like he was in a good mood, happy to come by, had no complaints, and, yeah, I think spoke the truth about what it's like probably to be a rookie a little bit. And if you missed it, we had Nate Taylor on. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, they don't all say that, but, like, what he's describing is essentially how it is for most of these guys.
It's the truth what's going on. Also, beginning, I mean, he said he can't believe how similar Spags and his head coach Brent Venables over at Oklahoma were. Like, he says, it's so crazy how similar both Spags and how they operate and coach is to Venables, who, for those that don't know, viewed as one of the best defensive minds in college football, was at Clemson with Dabo, and now he's been at OU for I don't know how many years now. It feels like it's been 5 years. Maybe it hasn't. But
that was funny part, too, because he was talking about – I said, well, do you like that as a nice transition? He's like, maybe not as a freshman. It's like, woo! Like, essentially he's a freshman. Because it goes back to the same thing he was saying. It's like the constant motivating yourself to be better, that's a part of the job you're going to have to, like, find inside yourself, not – it doesn't just come naturally for everybody, and he found some of that.
And our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Tomorrow at camp, we inch a day closer to the first preseason game. That unofficial depth chart that was released last night.
Yeah.
Do you put anything into that? Because
no, they chose all veterans.
It was all vets. When I saw the giveaway, when I was like, okay. When I saw L'Jarius Sneed, who barely has practiced because of his own knee problems, was listed on the depth chart in front of Mansour Delane, who we all know the situation there.
Correct.
But when he was listed in front of him, when I saw Noah Williams in front of Mansour Delane, and it just that was a telltale sign that the media relations department, who helps put together the unofficial depth
shows
chart,
years of service over anything else.
Vet. They were not going to have suddenly Khalil Benson at the starting right tackle spot. Even if Trey Smith would have been out there practicing, they were not going to have that, even if that might be what people are talking about.
They had Cyrus Allen behind Jalen Royals.
Right.
And, like, come on. Yeah. I mean, come on. We're all sitting out here at practice. We know that that's not the case. The Chiefs won't release an actual depth chart for a long time.
Yeah.
It'll be close to the regular season before you see the way that they actually lay it out.
It's going to be like that Tuesday or Wednesday, if not later, heading into the week one of the season.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the truth is, I still think L'Jarius Sneed might get way more snaps than people realize if, he can stay healthy. But some of those are just, like, running backs, for instance. We know probably the order. It went down in years of service per order. So Brashard Smith was last. He was behind Nico Remigio, and he might be behind every running back, but he might not be. And so, like, he's gotten second-team reps, he's gotten first-team reps depending on the day and the snaps. I don't read too much into it. I think what I tried to look at it was, okay, now I get a sense of this is what a 53 would look like, and I still think they have depth issues. I still think, like, just as a roster, they have depth issues.
Well, Ogba wasn't on that list yet because he wasn't signed yet.
I like the top 35. I'm not so sure I feel great after that. I don't think this can be another year where injuries get them in more than one spot, because I don't think they can really afford it much on the offensive line. I don't think they can afford it much on the defensive line. And in the secondary might be one of the few places. Canada had a good practice today. Maybe secondary, if they were willing to just throw young guys to the Wolves, as a place they could take on some water. But there's a lot of positions where I just don't. And I'm not saying it's different from the other teams in the league, but when I looked at the depth chart, I thought, I don't love the depth. I don't know if that's the worst takeaway to have for that, but that was more of my takeaway.
And on Friday, we'll talk about, some of the players we're keeping an eye on for the preseason game. I don't think anybody hopefully puts any stock in this depth chart that gets released. I think we get a feel, not even with the first preseason game, but after the second one. You can tell also by who's not playing much after a certain quarter in the first preseason game or the second preseason game. You can tell where their standing is on the team. Because if you're a guy in the second preseason game and you're playing a bunch of snaps in the third and fourth quarter, that tells us already they're either trying to find out more about you or you were never making the team anyway.
Exactly. Like, where are you in the depth chart? Not good. And if you're playing in the third preseason game, you ain't making the roster.
Correct.
I mean,
Pretty much.
history tells us for the Chiefs, or you're a kick returner and they're going to let Remigio get some wide receiver snaps because he'll be on the roster, but he's not going to get a lot of wide receiver snaps in the first team at any other stage, so go out there and get some work, And
I don't know, this game Saturday, Justin Fields might play a ton and then barely play, and Nussmeier might get most of preseason too. I don't know. Nussmeier and Oladokin are going to play like 90% of the third preseason game, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would think so. I am curious to watch Nussmeier play.
Sure,
Mostly just because it's largely because it's like we talked with right tackle. They have spent quite a bit of money and draft picks on a backup quarterback. Like, not like way more than anyone else, but more than a team feels like they should have to have Patrick Mahomes. And I know they like a backup that they trust and all this other stuff. Well, I hope that they, by the end of the year, trust Nussmeier and we don't have to spend money on a backup.
Oh, sure.
Year.
That's
and then you get 3 years of Garrett Nussmeier, backup quarterback, for on the dirt cheap, right?
Absolutely.
Whatever they spent, a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick on him. Because that means they invested 2 draft picks in quarterbacks this year, which for a team with Patrick Mahomes feels
but he's coming off an injury,
crazy,
right? And we all
one is highly paid, and Justin Fields.
And we saw Oladokin and Minshew got hurt, and then Oladokin's performance. And so
that was rough.
God forbid you need a spot start during the season. You got to make sure you trust somebody to come in and win you a game.
Oladokin's got a good life, though, It stunk that he, in living his NFL dream, it didn't go the way he wants. He's still out here. He'll make the practice squad. He'll make his $8,000 a week for the Chiefs.
You always worry about that,
years.
though, where once you play as much as he did last year and you weren't good, sometimes that's it for you.
But he's out here. They still got him.
Well, he's in camp.
I think they like him as, you know what it is? They still don't have, unless they're going to make Justin Fields do it, the scout team quarterback who's an athlete.
Fields can do some of that.
I know, but I feel like they want Fields to be a true backup quarterback.
Are they keeping 4 quarterbacks? Because 3 on the active?
I think 3 on the active, 1 on the practice squad.
4 quarterbacks?
You get 16 guys on the practice squad now.
Okay.
It's a big list.
Okay. The scout team part is the part I'll give you. I think that is huge for them. They've praised him for that in the past.
For mimicking Lamar and some of these other guys and going through the motions and giving them looks that at least show the challenges that those guys give your defense. And so I'm not saying, but like if they'll pay you $8,000 a week, you get your ass out there and you look like Lamar if you can, you do what you can to.
And he got some bigger checks last year when he played for a month.
I told Gold, Drew, that even like at $8,000 a week, I'll tell you right now, they could pay me that and they could just essentially just be a practice dummy. Instead of like, hey, look, the guys don't like hitting pads anymore. Like these like dummies, it's not very fun. Will you just stand out there in a full pad and just let Josh Simmons shove you over so it feels like a human body?
You would be broken.
It's $400,000 a year.
You would. Drew, he's not. He's going to need an injury settlement because he's going to get hurt after one time. Josh Simmons maybe tackles you. You're done. I don't know why he'd be tackling you.
Not tackling, just pushing me.
You're done. You're going to fall back.
My job is just to plant in the ground and let him just shove me over.
You're going to fall over before he even touches you. You're going to be like, oh, and you're going to fall back. You're going to fall back.
They could be extra pads. I mean, like not even street legal pads.
You're going to be
I said you'd be like the kid from Little Giants.
Yeah, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
With the foam around you.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it'd have to look.
Oh,
I think even to survive a single rep. But $8,000 a week?
Well, yes.
I'll try for the 1 week, whatever it takes.
Just for 1 week.
I'll be out there for as long as I can stay healthy. I'll say that. You said you give up TV for $500, so maybe you said $5,000.
$5,000.
Okay,
For
you weren't that cheap. My brother said $400.